and nothing can stop me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Yeah, susceptible now before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Susceptible now before the moment flies.
Shout out to all you guys here with Andre and Andre's Love Crossing Borders. We got a great topic tonight. Sadly, it was a situation that happened once again, to one of our passport sisters. I know they've been spending the last few years enjoying solo traveling around the world. And yet, another incident has taken place with one of our sisters, to where she basically, well, to be honest, had gotten kidnapped. Some of you have seen the headlines, some of you haven't. But at the end of the day, we got to make some changes, whether it be the men or the ladies who are traveling. Too many mishaps and too many mistakes are taking place when it comes to those who are using our passports. So we're going to look at the story of not only the sister that over the last week was kidnapped in the northern region of Africa, in the Middle Eastern section. We're also going to see and hear stories of men's episode as well as other women that have gone through the same thing. In other words, we're going to have to step our game up. And we're going to talk about what steps we need to take in order to step our game up as travelers, solo travelers, and individuals that travel to countries that most people just don't go to. But before we do that, you guys already know, let's bring some intro music. Shout out to all you guys that are here with Andre and Andre's Love Crossing Borders. Shout out to all you guys. Let's get started with the intros with our brother, Kenny Peoples, straight out the gate. Kenny says this: oh, well, another one bites the dust. Yeah, another one. She's kissing the ground of the U.S. soil. She's back at home, back in Baltimore, Maryland. I don't know if that's any better, but hey, buenas noches to you as well. I was about to say buenas evening, but buenas noches. Good evening as well, brother. She said, let me get hot tea and get some honey, and I will join you tonight, sir. Yes, sir. Cologne of the night, gentlemen. Really nice caramel scented, burnt caramel scented cologne. It is Lattafa's Amir Al Oud. Lattafa's Amir Al Oud. As you can tell, I put a little dent off in it. I've had it for about a good year. The average cologne lasts between 7 to 11 years as long as you keep it out of direct sunlight. 7 to 11 years. You keep it at room temperature. That's why it's not good to keep your colognes or any of your colognes in your glove compartment. Why is it not good to keep cologne in your glove compartment or any area inside your car? Because your car, as you well know, in the summertime, it heats up. In the wintertime, when you're not driving, it's extremely cold in your car. It changes the formula of your cologne. So the cologne that you paid so much money for, the formula completely changes while sitting in your hot car while you're at work or while you're over your friend's house or whatever you may be doing at home. Or if you live up north and it's cold, it changes the formula in that cold weather. So the cologne that you paid so much money for, the formula changes if you leave your cologne in the glove compartment. So if anything, get the little canisters where you can just get a little spray, little small canister off of Amazon, such as these. Get one of these. You could just easily just put some cologne in it. Just take the top off. Watch this. Take the top off. Down at the bottom of this, it has a little hole. And then you just take this off. This just pops off. And then you just, what I like about this one, it has a little window on the front of it to let you see the cologne being added to it. So you just add the cologne to it. That's it. Up and down, like some good sex. Now I can see the cologne on the inside of here. And then I just take this top, put it back on, make sure it's not facing my face so I don't spray myself. And now you want to keep this in your car. You keep this in your car or keep it in your pocket, and you can spray throughout the day. And you can get like 80 of these on Amazon for $10. But don't keep this whole container or any of your colognes in your car, because the formula will change based off the temperature that's inside of your car. And you don't want to waste your money doing that. Shout out to all you guys that are here, all you cologne experts. Shout out to my man Rico in the building as well. Appreciate you being here. Good evening, everyone. Yes, sir. Good evening to you. Let me turn my volume down a little bit. There we go. We got a good show tonight, guys. Really good show. We're going to talk about not only what the young lady went through when she was kidnapped, we're going to also hear about the country that she went to, because a lot of people are scratching their heads. Why did her and her girlfriend even go to that particular country? That particular part of Africa is very well documented and known for its racism and enslavement. I'll say that again. That area that she went to, no, even Africans don't go there. Even Africans don't go there. So for her to go to that part of Africa, everybody's still scratching their head like, why would you do that? So we're going to talk about how to not make mistakes that, you know, in the end could be not beneficial for us. So shout out again to my man Rico. Shout out to my man David Dice of the Dice family. Appreciate you being here, Dave. Glad to see you're here. Also, shout out to my man, scrolling down, DJ Dean is in the building. Appreciate you being here as well. And my man DeMarcus, the navigator, that is. Hey, family. Hey to you too, brother. Glad to see you gentlemen are here. And my man AMSM, a man supporting men, is always here, showing love and support. Appreciate you being here. Shout out to my man Chill with Will. Will be coming up. As we get started with the video, Will be coming up and give us a little bit of information on safety when it comes to how you should carry yourself in other countries. Being ex-military, has a lot of great tips for it. I'm going to be dropping the link in a little while for Will. Shout out to Will. He says, salutations, Andre and Andres and chat family. He says, this is going to be a good one. A good show, a great show. Shout out to my man, Chill with Will. Appreciate you being here, brother. And the $10 super chat. Let's scroll down a little bit further. We got my man, Bobby, Space Ghost, the Space Ghost, that is. I used to love Space Ghost when I was a kid. And poor man 313 already repping them Detroit boys.
You better back the fuck up out my face, goddammit. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Don't play with me.
Do not play with them Detroit boys. You know how they are and you know how they get. Shout out to you 313 brothers, such as I am. And my favorite YouTube name is in the building. The African Wolf is in the building. Shout out to you. He said, passport sister struggling, kidnapped. And I came across several stories of passport sisters getting kidnapped. He said, on the others, and the other sisters was denied entry into Thailand. I got that video coming up, whole story. I was going to present that one tonight, but I decided just to present one. But I've got that other sister story coming up in the next couple of days as well. So that was her fault. Shout out to my man, Sean D. My dude, family, my brother. Shout out to you. He say football He says on one half of the screen and Big Bro on the other side. Shout out to you. I appreciate that, Sean D. Yeah, I got my little fantasy football sitting right here, so I'm ready. seeing how I look. So he said, let's get it in with this fine Thursday evening. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to my man 0 Milligram, them brothers from DC. Hola, 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 the DMV boys. Shout out to Maryland. Shout out to Virginia. Shout out to DC. Yeah, I keep forgetting to put you guys drop in here. I got the drop made. I actually made you guys drop for DC the other day. I got a real good one for you. So I got, you know what? And I was thinking about that today. I got to put your guys drop in. Yeah, DJ said we in here. Yes, we are. Shout out to all you guys that are here tonight. We got 37 in the building already. Shout out to all you guys that are here. This is going to be a good one. I kid you not, a good one. She's going to tell her story step by step what happened. You're going to notice and we're going to look at several stories, and you're going to notice a common thread among all the stories. You're going to notice a common thread among all the stories that kind of help alleviate some of the headaches that Andre and I don't go through when we go to other countries. I kid you not. And you'll see what I mean when I say that, tell you about that common thread. Jay Anderson, the great, is in the building. He say salute to you, kind sir. He say it is the grown man chat. He say Andre and Andre love crossing borders. Your boy JATG. He said in the building, yes sir. Jay Anderson, the great. The great. And Dave says this with his $5 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. He said, Andre, side note. He said I took your advice. Balls. Yes, sir. He said balls and cup. She will never look at cranberry juice. Was I lying? Thank you. You say balls and cup. She will never look at cranberry juice the same. She was ready to. Thank you. I know I ain't lying. I've done that one on quite a few of them. For you guys that weren't here on yesterday's episode, you need to watch like halfway through yesterday's episode. Just watch the show at the 2 hour, 3 hour mark. Yeah. Oh man, our Raiders are looking bad this year, man. But are we surprised? So it is what it is. I mean, plus we got injuries like everybody else. I mean, our right tackle went down, and then last week our left tackle went down. That's the only person that was helping out Ashton Genty, and now I don't even know how Ashton's going to do in my fantasy league. So it is what it is. Shout out to Ashton Genty. He's out there trying like a lot of guys. All right, guys, let's go to change the music, and let's get ready get started with the video. And halfway through the video, I'm going to bring our brother. I'm going to drop the link for our brother Will, so Will can come up and just have a discussion on some of the things that we're going to be talking about on this particular episode. Yeah, we're looking bad. We're looking real bad. But shout out to all 37 guys. Click the like button if you don't mind. We like you. We really do. Make sure that you like us too by clicking that like button. Here we go. Let me change the music, the mood music, and turn that down. Turn that down to about, I'll turn it down about 9, because she's going to be telling the story. We're going to start off by hearing what she just listened to what the news had to say. And I got some stats for you guys. Oh, let's start with this, because I know how Americans think. We're gonna, you know what? I'm gonna take this down, remove this. We're gonna start with some stats. Oh yeah, I know how we think. We think about when somebody get kidnapped in another country. Oh my God, I can't believe it. So what I did, I pulled up the stats for the top 20 countries, developed countries in the world that kidnappings take place. Let's talk about it, because I know Americans always want to talk about the ills and the evils that take place in other countries. Let's look at the top 20 list and see if America is on the top 20 list of developed countries that have the most kidnappings in the world. Now, mind you, remember, America makes up only 4.3% of the world by way of population and land mass. America is not as big as the maps make them. Did you know this? That you could fit into Africa alone all of Europe, including Russia, many of the Southeast Asian islands, and the United States can fit in Africa at the same time. That's how huge the 54 countries of Africa is. So America is not that large. So let's take a look. The country number 20 when it comes to kidnappings in the world is Switzerland. You wouldn't think that, but yes, it is Switzerland. In less than 5%, of course. Then Spain, then Italy, then Japan, still with less than a percentage. You got Greece with a little less than a percentage. Then here you go, Ireland, almost one of every. Not, I don't mean percentage, but amount of per thousand. Then you got Ireland with almost 2 people per 100,000 get kidnapped in Ireland. Australia, almost 2 people. Same thing with the Netherlands. Every 100,000 people, 2 people. Now we're at number 12. Here we go. Romania. A lot of us consider Romania to be dangerous, but only 2 people. Portugal, one of the safest countries in the world, 2.5 people when it comes to kidnapping. I wouldn't expect that from Portugal. The UAE, we can round this up to 2.7 with the UAE. Luxembourg, we're in the top 10 right now. Top 10 developed countries in the world where major kidnappings take place. Year in, year out. We got Luxembourg at number 9. Here we go. Belgium got 10 people. 10 people get kidnapped per every 100,000 people. Then you got Germany with 5. That's not too bad, but they're number 7. Then you've got France at number. I see the U.S. hasn't made it to the list, so far so good. 5.5, almost 6 people. 7 people in Israel get kidnapped on a regular. Did I say Luxembourg down here? Oh, here we go. Luxembourg is right here at with 8 people at number 4. United Kingdom, almost 9 people get in Canada. Would you expect Canada to have almost 10 people get kidnapped per 100,000 people? Canada. Guess who the number 1 country is? Let me see if you guys can guess what the number 1 country is in the world of developed countries where people get kidnapped. Love to kidnap somebody. Let me see what you guys have to say in the comments. Yeah, that's wild. I wouldn't expect that from Canada either. So who do you guys think is number 1? Give you guys a quick guess. Who might be number 1 in the world? Mexico is a real good guess. That is a real good guess. The U.S. We got some people saying the U.S. Shout out to Montrez in the building. Shout out to Face Card Black in the building. Jay Anderson. So we got 3 guys said the U.S. He said home of the free. Well, let's take a look at it. And the answer is, you guys are absolutely correct. The United States, when it comes to kidnapping, is number 1 in the world of developed countries in the world. United States at, when it comes to every 100,000 people, 15 people to almost 16 people will get kidnapped based on the population survey in 2022. It could be worse right now. But the United States is number 1. So before we watch this video, let's not be so critical on our African countries and other countries when we come from the country where kidnapping is numero uno. We're kidnapping adults, kids, old people, don't matter. We'll kidnap somebody. Number 1, nobody else came close. Canada was at almost 10. We're up at 15, 16. We're up at 15, 16. We will kidnap wives, girlfriends, side chicks, kids that's ours, kids that ain't ours, grandparents, great-grandparents, strangers, co-workers. Come on, America. We will kidnap somebody. Somebody gonna get kidnapped by us. We kidnapping ex-bosses, kidnapping our own kids. Yes, it's America, numero uno. So now America is literally trash and everything. Lord. Yep, trafficking. What you think? Hey, let's be real. Let's be honest, guys. What do you think they're gonna do with all those kids that they took by way of ICE? You think they're gonna keep all them kids? And no. America's gonna sell those immigrant children to the highest perverted bidder. Y'all thought it was some Epstein's running around before. Think about it. You got hundreds of thousands of children arrested, hundreds of thousands of children that will never see their parents again. Hundreds of thousands over the last 100+ days. You think they're just gonna have those kids or just send those kids back over to Mexico with no parental guidance? No. Every pervert that you can imagine is bidding on trying to get their hands on those little children. You better believe that one. That one you better believe. You might as well stop closing your eyes and put your head in the sand about our country. We do some weird stuff in the background. We can't talk about other countries without putting a mirror in our own face too. And that's why I talked about us first before we start talking about the country that the sister went to. Now let's bring the video up. Let's bring this down. Let's add this.
On vacation in Africa and barely escaped with her life.
She's just gotten home, and tonight she shares her story with Bob Barnard.
I don't know what happened to me. Just know I was trying to fight. I was fighting for my life. A grown-ass man. I was fighting for my life. You know what I'm saying?
We met best friends Mika and Queen at Mika's home in Montgomery County. They just got home Tuesday from what was supposed to be another one of their adventurous week-long vacations, this time to Tunisia. That's in northern Africa.
It was traumatizing. Like,
now, I want you guys to look at this. It's by Algeria. It's near Morocco as well. It's near Egypt. It's near Libya. A lot of the Africans are hearing about this story and they're saying, oh, that's not Africa. That's the Middle East. No, Africans, except your country. Your continent. That is in your continent, Africa. You're going to see on the videos tonight, a lot of Africans are going to try to shun. That's not us. That's not us. That's them in the Middle East. We didn't do it. So a lot of Africans are going to try to act like they don't claim the Middle East. But the Middle East is a part of the African continent as well. It's not Europe. It's on somebody's continent. And we're going to talk about how these areas are completely racist, and I don't understand why these women went out here. Let's continue on.
even here, like now, like she got her own house, I got my own place. We stayed together. Like, we still scared because it's like, I don't even know what happened. I don't know how it happened. I don't know if y'all.
Mika says this past Saturday night, after returning from a club, she was drugged and kidnapped from her hotel after going to the lobby to get some tissues.
Y'all, look at my face. I cannot believe this shit. Like, they really tried to kidnap me in Africa. And if that shit happened to me, I know it happens to other people.
A black woman from Maryland was kidnapped in Tunisia last week. But her story is not an isolated incident, and what we found in our research is concerning for all black travelers. Let's talk about it. What's up, y'all? My name is Leroy. I'm the editorial media director for Culture Travels Media, where every Friday we bring you travel news with our partners at Stamped. The story is still developing, so we're going to read verbatim exactly what Mika has reported in her testimony about the incident. And then we're going to share with you what we discovered in terms of a larger pattern of kidnapping Black migrants and Black tourists in Tunisia. A Black American woman from Montgomery County was vacationing in Tunisia with her friend Queen. Last Saturday night, after returning to her hotel from a club, she went to the lobby to get tissues. That's the last thing she remembers before waking up in the back of a car being driven by a stranger, according to Mika. Mika says she fought back, she opened the car door, screamed for help. The driver punched her repeatedly in the face, trying to silence her. But she kept thinking about her kids back home, so she kept fighting her way out. According to Mika, when her friend Queen tried to get help from the hotel staff, they walked away, told her, "This didn't happen here, we don't know what you're talking about." Fortunately, Mika has made it back home, she's with her family and she's with her kids. She has sustained black eyes and bruises all over her body. She's alive, but after this story broke, we started to do some digging, and what we found reveals something much bigger in terms of the safety for Black migrants and Black tourists in Tunisia. Tunisia isn't just a place where Black travelers are being targeted. It's become a hotbed for human trafficking.
Absolutely. And it's been like that for a few years. It's been like that for a few years. Tunisia, Libya, Morocco, that whole area, Egypt, that whole area has been a hot spot for modern day enslavement and kidnappings. How? Because a lot of the African migrants or immigrants that are trying to make it to Europe have to go through that area to get across the Mediterranean Sea and the other water masses to get to Spain or Italy or any of those other areas in Southern Europe. They have to go past Morocco. They have to go past Libya. They have to go past Egypt. So they're coming from the mid regions of Africa, the southern regions of Africa, and they're all getting on boats illegally, many of them sinking, sadly. And instead of making it at least onto the boats, these people are kidnapping them and enslaving them. There is a huge slave population in Egypt, Morocco, Libya, in those areas. It is as if it's still the 1500s. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. You're going to see where tonight you're going to see where they actually were even forcing weddings. You're going to see where they even enslaved women and then forced the women to marry the men that purchased them. You're going to see that tonight. And many of the men that are purchasing the women are brothers. That's the part. Brothers buying sisters that were captured, kidnapped, and enslaved. And then they force them to marry them. Let's continue on, gentlemen. So this region of the world, you want to look out for. That's why they're still asking the question, why did you guys go to this area?
And allegedly, Tunisian authorities are complicit. According to 3 testimonies from migrants who were rescued in the Mediterranean, Tunisian police are intercepting Black African migrants, handcuffing them and driving them to the Libyan border where they're sold to militia. Listen to this. One survivor named Charlie from Cameroon said, "The Tunisian police sold us to kidnappers, Libyan bandits. The selling price was 150 dinars, approximately $25, less than the price of a goat. $25 for a human life."
Let that sink in. This woman was going to a region of the world where they are kidnapping people and selling them for $25, the price of a goat. Not all Africa is good Africa, gentlemen. Not all 54 countries, including the Mediterranean area or the Middle Eastern area, is good for us to go to.
woman named Ivana, 26, was living in Tunisia when police raided her home at night. She was handcuffed, driven to the desert, and handed to the armed Libyan men. To get out, her sister in Cameroon went into debt to pay $690. Another woman, Aisha, 22, watched two of her friends die in a Libyan detention center. She was held for 8 months. When one of her friends died in her lap, she cried and was beaten for it. These aren't random incidents. This is a documented pattern. In October of 2024, the United Nations Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights raised concerns about migrants being sold by Tunisian security forces to armed groups in Libya.
Once again, Libya and Tunisia are right next to each other. So Morocco and Tunisia will kidnap the people and sell them to Libya. And if you're a man, they're selling you to the Libyan military or militia. You don't even make it to the boat to even try to get to Southern Europe.
In January 2025, a report called State Trafficking presented evidence of systemic targeting of black migrants in Tunisia through mass raids, detention without due process, and forced transfer to Libyan traffickers. And here's what makes it worse. The European Union and Italy are funding Tunisia's border enforcement through migration deals, knowing this is happening. So when we hear about Mika, a black American woman on vacation, being drugged and almost trafficked, we have to ask ourselves, are black tourists being targeted in the same networks that are trafficking migrants? The truth is, we don't know yet, but what we do know is Tunisia is not safe for black travelers right now. Tunisia markets itself as a tourist destination, beautiful Mediterranean beaches, rich history, and affordable luxury. But behind the tourism facade, black bodies, whether migrants or tourists, are being treated as disposable. Mika, when she tried to get help from the hotel staff, they denied her. They said that this didn't happen, the same way that authorities deny what's happening to migrants. Last thing we want to do is discourage you all from visiting any place, especially other black countries. But this is bigger than travel recommendations. This is about a system of anti-black violence being enabled by state actors and the rest of the world looking away because migrant agreements are more important than black lives. So here's our recommendation. If you're planning to travel to Tunisia, don't. You know someone who's there, tell them to leave. And if you're working with a travel agency that's still encouraging you to visit Tunisia, ask them why are they putting black lives at risk. And that's our story from this week, y'all. We're happy that Mika and Queen both have made it home safely. Travel informed, travel safely, and we'll catch y'all next Friday. Have a good one.
Before we go any further, he's absolutely correct, gentlemen. This goes for all of us. He said two things: travel informed, travel safely. I had come to a conclusion, for the most part, there are very few parts of the world that Andre and I have gone that I haven't paid for a consultation for it. I kid you not. I'm not going to any countries in 2025 under an assumption of I thought what it was is the same of 2021 or 2017, or that country was like it was in 2009. I'm not going to any of these countries anymore with an assumption. I have no problem with opening up my wallet, paying for a consultation, and I kid you not, every time I paid for a consultation for a country, whether it was in Europe, whether it was in Mexico, whether it was here, I kid you not, it has saved us either economically or by way of safety. I kid you not. There were scams that came me and Andrea's way in every part of Europe that we went to. And I recognized the scams as soon as I saw it. Why? Because the white dude that I got a consultation from that has been living in Europe forever and a day told me, Andre, you're going to look out for this. Make sure that if you see this, make sure you do this. He didn't just give me all the great places to see, but he gave me the things to look out for. And I kid you not. Same thing in Mexico. Same thing in Mexico. I never go to a country assuming I know the country. I'll give you another story before we go to the next video or the next portion of her story. There's a brother that I'm working with right now. He's in Medellin, Colombia. Shout out to the brother, right? He's having one of the worst trips that a person could have. If you look at it, it's going bad for him in Medellin. I don't know if this is his first trip. I don't know if this is his fifth trip. But I do know that he's like, man, listen, I didn't know Medellin prices were compared to the United States now. I didn't know it was this expensive here. It was sold to me on YouTube that it was Shangri-La and it's not that expensive. Well, that is the Medellin of 2000 prior to 2021. Now Medellin is, in many areas, the prices are comparable to the States. But a lot of brothers don't know that. He was complaining about the pay for play. These women walk around and treat you like you're expendable, like you just supposed to just get in, do your thing, and get the hell off of me. You don't get a girlfriend experience. I said no. I said there are so many tourists that come through Medellin now that if you don't pay her, she's not worried about not making any money or giving you the best performance, because 50 other guys are about to be heading off the plane in the next hour that'll pay her for having trash sex. So he was complaining about how bad the sex was, and he's a good dude. No street dude, very professional brother. But he was like, man, I just did not. I say, man, this is the funny part. He had already paid me in advance for a consultation, but hadn't reached out to me. Could have saved him a world of headache. Could have saved him a world of headache if he would have did just like this brother said. Be informed. Don't assume. Be informed no matter where you go. If I'm going to the Philippines, you better believe I'm reaching out to some of you brothers in the Philippines. I'm not going to pretend. And if I got to pay you for your time, I have no problem with that. I'm not about to sit up here and pretend like I know the Philippines. I'm not about to put my wife's life in jeopardy or our economics in jeopardy by going into an expensive area when you could have told me, Dre, you could have got that same thing over on this side of the city. Nothing different. I'm not going to sit back and go to the Philippines and assume that I know stuff when I could just ask you guys, which area should I go? What city? What do you recommend? What scam should I look out for? Which train? They got a train system? Which is it, an Uber? Is it a taxi? Which apps should I download now I'm in the Philippines? You guys have all that information. We got to start being honest and start sharing this information with each other and not just assume because I see the guys in a Facebook group having fun there that I can go there and have fun. Like the brother is having a miserable time in Medellin. Miserable time. It's not like he's lonely. He's going to all the right spots, but he's like, goodness gracious, Dre, I'm not poor, but I wasn't expecting America. I say, yeah, that's Medellin, bro. You gonna pay American prices in the Medellin now. It is what it is. So make sure, guys, that you reach out to somebody. If I go to the Philippines or Thailand, I'm reaching out to somebody in Thailand. I'm not about to sit up here and pretend like I know Thailand. I'm not about to waste days assuming, because assumptions are not as safe as information. I would rather have the information and feel safe than be assuming and not be safe. Let's go back to the video. Like I said, I'm gonna bring my brother Chill with Will up in a few moments. Let's go back to the video. And that's what she didn't do. She didn't get information to keep her safe. And what she didn't do also, salute to my man Jaquez, what she didn't do also, she would have known not to go to that country. If she had just did a little bit of homework instead of just looking at the brochures online. Shout out to Cam. He say some here. He say same here with when I was in Istanbul. He said, I noticed all the scams by video researching. See what I'm saying? Even if you don't reach out to someone, do some form of research. Like when we go to places, oh man, we're doing 2-3 months of research. Me and Andrea, we researching and researching and researching. And we research a spot so much, a city or a country so much. By the time we see what we want to see, that landscape or that particular building or that particular castle, we've seen it so much that we're really not surprised anymore. We're not really in awe because we've researched spots so much. Shout out to my man Chaos in the building and Cali Culture. Shout out to my brother who also does consultations here in Cali as well. You can see his website, Cali Culture. He say, so true, Dre. He say those consultations can ensure that you are safe in the economical trip. To me, it is a no-brainer. And a lot of times you guys think, oh, Andre just saying consultation because that's what he does. I'm telling you, I pay for them. See, I can see if I was saying, yes, guys, get a consultation. No, when I go to places, I'm not stupid. I'm not about to pretend like I know spots. That's such a waste of time to assume that you know spot. Now you got this brother in Medellin having a horrific time because he didn't reach out to anybody. And now he's like, man, I don't know if I want to do Medellin again. It really makes me feel like I'm on a revolver line, you know, one of those factory lines. Like you just got so many tourists on the factory line, come in, leaving out, coming in, leaving out, like it's a conveyor belt. He said, I feel like I'm on a conveyor belt. He said, these women don't even act like they want to be genuine. They don't even pretend like they want to be genuine. I say, yeah, you're a tourist, brother. I say, and tourists get treated one way, and guys that live in Colombia gets treated a different way. Jaquez says, I've been to Thailand. He said, but it's so many years ago that I would definitely do a consultation with, for example, Richie Mack, before going there again. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. I actually, the guy who I did the consultation with, I'm actually a part of his Patreon. I pay into his Patreon every month. I kid you not, man. You got man. Listen, I'll just sit up here and go to these countries and act like I know everything. Not me. Shout out to my man Fearless in the building. We still got to get together, Fearless. We still need to get together. He said, yeah, I would definitely do a consultation. Yeah, I kid you not, guys. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it without one. This world is changed so much, and whatever you see on TikTok is. I'll give you a perfect example. Let's just use Ronan, for example, the Philippines. Ronan sees things in the Philippines from living there on a day-to-day basis that never make it to TikTok, that never makes it to YouTube, that never makes it to Instagram. So if I'm basing my wanting to go to Philippines only on what I see on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, I'm only seeing a percentage of it. There are things behind the scenes that you guys that live there could tell Andre and I to save us a world of economic as well as social headache. So I'd rather pay to keep the headache away. That's me. I ain't gonna lie to you. I pay to keep the headache away. Like we plan on going out that way next year. Guess what I'll be doing? Reaching out to you guys for consultations. I'm not about to sit up here and act like I know everything. Shout out to Jay Fleming. Jay said, get those consultations, fellas. I'm not be pretend, man. I'm reaching out. Like I said, man, Andre heading out there later on next year. Yeah, guess what we'll be doing? Consultations. He said, I know a guy who went to Cartagena, did no research, and had a bad time. Didn't even try to learn basic Espanol. Wow, and I could understand that. Shout out to my man Jay Casey in the building. Let's go back to the video, gentlemen. Let's go back to the video of the young lady because she's going to start telling her story.
And I just was blessed enough to get the fuck away.
Poor baby got two black eyes.
All right, so when I came out here Friday. Friday night was cool. Saturday night we went out.
Now, before
I'm not a party person, so like an hour into the club, I'm like, I always do this. Nothing.
Now, like she said, she's not a party person, and she had just had a daughter about 7 months prior to going on the trip. She has one child. This is based off the research that I found out from TikTok and her being on her page. She just gave birth 7 months ago to a newborn. And she already has one child. Now, I don't know if she has one or two more child, but I know she has one other child. So she's got, at least as far as I know, 2 children back home in the States when all this was going on. And she was just trying to just get away. So I guess after having birth just 7 months ago.
All right, I'm going to the hotel. It's hella taxis outside. It's a lot of people out there. So the taxi brings me back to the hotel. I come upstairs. I go to the front desk because I needed a key.
I didn't understand that either, Iman. Why she just had a baby 7 months ago, and she's taking a flight to Africa, to a country where nobody. I know, right? That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of holes in this story. But as she was saying, she said, I'm not a partier. I'm not a club person. She said, so I'm about to take a taxi back to the hotel.
My key, I don't know where my key was, but I went to the front desk to get a key. So they gave me a key. I come upstairs. Then I'm like, dang it, ain't no tissue. I go back downstairs. I go to the front desk. Y'all, that is the last thing I remember, being at the front desk. The next thing I remember is waking up in the back of a fucking car. I start freaking the fuck out. Like, I'm trying to get out. And once I get out, this guy, this shit is blurry. I thought the front desk, all that shit is blurry. I don't know what woke me up. I don't know what they gave me, what they did to me. I don't know. The last thing I remember is being at the lobby. So, the guy, he get out the car. We're tussling. We fucking fighting. Like, I'm fucking fighting for my life. Like, I'm really like, all I could think about was my fucking kids. Like, man, I gotta get back home to my kids. I'm really.
This was like her baby shower 7 months ago. Not 7 months ago, but like 8 or 9 months ago. But she gave birth 7 months ago. So this is her newborn. I don't know why she got a newborn. She out of the country, but hey. Yeah, she's not a party person, honestly. She said that she was leaving the club. Yeah, I repeat a club. Yeah, a club, yeah. I know, DJ. I understand, right? Yep. It was her and her girlfriend, and they didn't leave. The funny part, it doesn't seem like her and her girlfriend left together. It seems like her girlfriend stayed at the club and she left. What husband? You know better. You know better, Iman. Ain't no husband. Yeah, the friend stayed at the club. She said that she left because she's not a clubber anyway. So she just left her friend and took a taxi by herself. Yep, she just had a baby. Taking a trip already. That's your queen's. That's your queen's responsible. So she ditched her friend, went back to the hotel room.
Fighting for my life. Like, this nigga's punching me. Y'all can see, like, he's trying to telling me shut up. I was not, like, giving up wasn't an option. Like, I really was fucking fighting for my life. So I managed to get away by the grace of God. I don't even know how I really got away. It's all woods. I just started running. I did not look back. I'm running fast as shit to where I could see cars and lights. I'm running fast as shit. But this shit is blurry. I don't know what they gave me or did to me. So once I get, I finally was able to wave somebody down and get some help. A taxi brought me back to the hotel, right? So, okay, y'all, I'm in the airport. So I'm going to keep talking about it, though, before I forget. So the taxi brings me back to the hotel. So I'm running in. I tell Queen, y'all, I'm with Queen, so just keep up with me. I tell Queen, I'm like, they fucking took me. She telling me I'm yelling out shit, like, I was fighting for my life. What do you? She like, you just was so, you was in distraught, like you was in shock. You was crying and all that stuff. So, she got onto, she asked in the hotel, y'all, the hotel would not show us no videos. They was not helping us. They did not call the police for me. They did not give a fuck. That's how I know the hotel has something to do with it.
Have y'all seen that video going around of that woman who was abducted while on vacation in Tunisia? And for anyone who is not geographically inclined, here is where Tunisia is. Apparently, she was taken from the lobby of her hotel and had to fight for her life to escape, only to get back to her hotel, the penthouse suites, to be told by the hotel staff that she came back from the club like that. Like, they ain't see nothing, they ain't hear nothing. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not even sorry. It's giving inside job, because how are you now refusing to show the video when you seen me come in here looking like I was literally fighting for my life? My purse is upstairs. My phone is upstairs. Meg, you're telling me I don't know what I experienced.
Because it just doesn't make sense. So, what they're saying, right? They're trying to say that I never came back to the hotel. Like, once
This is the actual hotel.
I, like, out their words of their mouth, they said I got snatched from the club. For one, how the fuck you know I was at the club? Two, if I got snatched at the club, where in the club I have this purse, I'm recording with this phone in the club. Like, we're having a ball. I got this purse on, and I'm recording this phone. How the fuck did my stuff get back in the room if I never came back?
That's a good point. If she said, if I never came back to my room, how did my purse and my shoes and all my other stuff make it back to my room if it happened like you said? I know, Ronan, they're trying to pull the Jedi mind trick. Known by many, done by few. Known by many, but done by few. All her stuff that she had with her cell phone, everything else, is still in the hotel room in which she had it with her at the club. So she like, well, if I got kidnapped from the club, how's my purse upstairs? How are my shoes upstairs? How's my cell phone still upstairs? Yeah.
He keep trying to say, oh, y'all, it's just so much. It's just so much. But when I say I was fighting for my fucking life, like, they did not expect for me to make it back to that hotel. I was never supposed to come back to that hotel, yo. I was never supposed to come back.
I'm still trying to understand why she chose that particular random country. I do not get it. That is not a country that's on most people's maps. Most people are sitting back and say, when I get done having this baby, I'm going to this particular country. I just don't get it. Yeah, why would you leave? Right. Why would you leave especially as a woman, why would you leave your friend in a country that you've never been to before? Right. I'm that's the only part that really confuses me, is why would you choose that country? I'm glad that she's safe, but I really would love to hear the answer to that one. I'm going to do some homework on that.
Then, you know what I'm saying, once I'm back, everybody, they looking so crazy. Everybody looking so crazy. Why? Queen go back downstairs. Nobody wants to talk to her. Nobody, we don't want to talk to you. Now, nobody know no English. And for y'all to keep telling me that I never came there after the club, yes, the fuck I did. Yes, I know I did. But if I didn't come back after the club, right? Or if I, you know what I'm saying, if I didn't come back after the club, how the fuck is my stuff in? And say if I didn't, you know what I'm saying, what they saying, if I didn't, if I got taken from the club, or if I willingly walked out of the hotel, you're gonna show me. You were so pressed to show me running in while it was light time, distraught. That's the only video they showed. But when I'm running in, I have no purse, I have no phone. You know why? Because my shit was upstairs, because I was upstairs. Man, this shit is so stressful. I don't even know what to do, how to go about this, who to say nothing to. I don't know. I don't know. I did not come here like this. All of this right here is all over my body. Okay, y'all, and then it's just a lot of weird shit going on. Like, The manager decided, remind me this happened Saturday night, Sunday morning. Once I got back to the hotel from escaping, I stayed in my room. I didn't want to go nowhere. I had booked a flight. You know, the next available flight was in the day. You think they came and checked on me? You think he asked? You know why the police showed up? Do y'all know why the police showed up? The police showed up because the hotel said Queen was being disruptive and, like, you know what I'm saying? Down there being too loud and shit, yelling at them, disrespecting them and shit. They never knew nothing I was talking about pertaining to me, or nothing she was telling to me. I had to call the fucking embassy, the U.S. embassy. They came and they brought their own police officers. And then even the guys that was police that night kept telling Queen, oh, come with him. Go with him to make a report. Go with him to make a report. We showed the real police that the embassy brought, and he said that's not one of our guys.
That's another common thing that you'll see in a lot of situations in other countries. You have to make sure that that police officer is a real police officer. I know a lot of times we'll be in a situation where we're kind of like upset or emotional, and as soon as somebody say, well, you go with that police officer, and you just automatically just go with that police officer, and come to find out, you may find out that that is one of the guys that's kidnapping people, parading as a police officer. So in many countries, you do have to make sure, even in Colombia, sometimes even in the States, you got to make sure that that cop is legit.
What the fuck? Like, I cannot make this shit up.
This is why you should be careful when going to Greece.
So this is one of the scariest things I've ever had happen to me while traveling. I was in Thessaloniki, Greece. This is the second day of a 2-week-long trip, and I was very excited to be there. So me and my buddy go out to a bar. We had a nice time. I went to the bathroom. As soon as I opened up the stall, a bunch of guys grabbed me and they took me off somewhere else. They're all screaming at me, you need to pay us money. Why? You ripped the urinal off the wall. That doesn't even make sense. I didn't do it. I'm not paying. So I pick up the phone. I call my buddy Kyle. I'm like, get down here. Something's going down. As soon as I do this, they sucker punch me. My phone goes flying. I'm laying on the ground, and 6 guys got over top of me. They held me by the throat and they just started beating me. They hit me so hard my vision went blurry. I definitely had a concussion. It was an awful experience. One guy's choking me, the other ones are punching me in the face. There's a whole crowd of people watching this happen and nobody steps in. Finally, some nice guy comes over and grabs one of the dudes by the arms and says, enough. As soon as he did this, I took off running as fast as I could. I ran down the street, found a little newsstand. I pushed everybody out of the way and I said, you have to help me. There was a group of college kids that were traveling. They came over and they're talking to me, calming me down. So I was starting to be a little more relaxed. All of a sudden, 2 guys show up and they said, we can help you. We're with the police. So I trusted them. I said, okay. They took me away from this whole crowd, and once we were by ourselves, grabbed me, they threw me in the back of a car, and that's when I realized that these are the same guys that have been beating me. And at this point,
Remember I just said that? You're thinking that it's the police again, but it's the guys that kidnapped him that ended up with him once again, with him being in their possession. We got to be careful, guys. I know a lot of times where our emotions are heightened, but we got to be careful. Yep, they came back for round 2.
kidnapped, and I don't know where we're going. We're in the car for like 10-15 minutes. So I'm thinking, how can I stop this car? I was gonna untie my shoelaces and use that. Unfortunately, I had different shoes on that day, no shoelaces. Bad choice. I checked the lock on the door, it pulls up. The second we hit a red light, I jumped out and ran for as long as I possibly could. I hid in some bushes for a while. I zigzagged down the streets. I had no clue where I was at. I had no phone. Didn't even know the name of the hotel that I was staying at. I walked around for 3 hours in the middle of the night in Thessaloniki, Greece. Finally, I see my buddy Kyle. He's been out on the street trying to find me. He thought I was just lost, had no clue any of this had even happened. I stopped in every single hotel and store that was open, asking for help. I stopped people on the streets, asked them for help. Nobody would help me find where I'm going or call anybody for me. I was just screwed. The next day I wake up, they had my phone unlocked and they were using Apple Pay over and over again trying to pay themselves, but luckily it was blocked every time. And then they texted Kyle from my phone and they said, come on back down here, let's meet and give us some money. money, we'll give you the phone back, everything will be fine. So of course, I went and erased the phone, so it's useless to them. I got out of Greece, I was in Serbia within a few hours. So it's been like 3 weeks since all this has happened. My throat still hurts from when they grabbed me. My wrists are really messed up. I can barely pick things up still. Don't know what's going on with that. My face is healed up. The scratch is gone. The black eye is almost gone. So we're doing all right. So I'm lucky to be alive and happy to be back home. Make sure you're following for more, and you let me know what I should do next.
And then the manager, I got a picture of him, y'all. He telling me, oh, it was just, so Monday, this Monday, we going downstairs to talk and shit. So he can show us the cameras. He tell me, can you just stay in the room? And she go, we like, no, we not, like nobody going nowhere by themselves. Y'all janky. He asked me, he like, you got some sunglasses, or you like, can you cover up? Fuck no, I want everybody to see what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, it happened here, from here. I know for a fact I was in here. Y'all keep trying to tell me I wasn't here. But how did my purse that I had at the club, which I'm on camera in the club with my phone in my purse. So then when I get back to the hotel, I don't have no phone or no purse. That's what they showing me. I don't have no phone, no purse. I don't even have shoes on. But my shit is upstairs. Then he like, oh, this was just an accident. What the fuck do you mean it was an accident? This is the craziest shit I done ever been in my life. I travel a lot. It's not my first time out the country. It's not my second time out the country. I travel a lot. And the hotel won't show all the videos. If y'all innocent, just show the videos. You were so supposed to show me, oh, this is when she came back in. That's what they try to do. Oh, this is when she came back in. After I got into all that, you know what I'm saying? No, the fuck. That's not when I came back in. Y'all didn't expect me to come back in. That shit crazy.
Family, what? You and me will always be.
That's the girl that got her and her friend that got kidnapped in Africa or Tunisia. They say it's not Africa. They say it's a Arabic country. I don't know. She got kidnapped from her hotel while on vacation. And you see how pretty she looks right there? If you go and look at her page and see what that man did to her, and she looked so bad that the hotel was like, can you cover your face up? Can you not let people see you looking like that? What? Anyway, so come to find out a few more details. Her friend was looking for her and asking the hotel before she came back. Her friend was looking for her, like, where is she? You know, what happened to her? And the hotel was telling her, oh, she met a friend and she left. She met a friend and she left. She said she met a friend. She doesn't speak this language. She met a friend and she left. These people plotted to kidnap this.
Right. She's in a country she's never been to. She doesn't speak the language. It's a country that very few people speak English. It's not a strong English speaking country. Once again, I'm wondering, why did she even go there in the first place? I don't get it.
Woman, while she was on vacation. I don't know what they were going to do with her, but they definitely had a whole, you know, it was a whole thing set up.
Nothing on her. Everything that she had was already in her room. She came downstairs and asked y'all for some toilet paper and then woke up in the back of somebody's car. They had this lady meeting up with fake cops and doctors. And the biggest red flag had to be the fact that they refused to show her the actual security footage that she was asking for.
I have seen at least 3 videos today of American women who were kidnapped in Morocco and Tunisia. These countries are in North Africa. Please.
3 American women. 3 American women who were being kidnapped in Morocco and or Tanzania.
Always specify because they said Africa. Some of them have open wounds and I don't think it's something new. All the videos I've seen are black women. So be very careful. Arabs can be very.
Okay, so now basically, in this situation, 3 sisters. Stop it, Theo.
Very, very racist. Very careful.
Tunisia may be in Africa, but it's taking a very hard line against black migrants who want to enter Europe. 29 people sadly drowned this weekend in a new wave of attempted crossings. So, how did this all start? Tunisia has long been a hub for people wanting to enter Europe because of its close proximity to
Theo's a monster.
Italy. Recently, Tunisia's president verbally attacked black people, saying hordes of sub-Saharan Africans are changing the demographic makeup of the country, with all the violence and crime that entails. Attacks on black Africans in the Arab-majority country increased after the comments, which were condemned as hate speech by the African Union, which Tunisia, being an African nation, is part of. About 10 to 15% of Tunisia's population is black, many of whom are descended from slaves. They've always faced a hard time in the country, but now there are increased reports they're facing job losses and getting kicked out of their apartments. For example, Human Rights Watch spoke to a legal black resident who runs a salon business in the country. One day, her landlord reneged on the lease, claiming that the police said blacks can't own a business. The next morning, she found the landlord with 6 other men destroying equipment at the site. In response, Tunisia issued a statement saying Africans are our brothers and ordered to give legal residency to more migrants. However, according to various right groups, this hasn't stopped the attacks. So, what do you think about the actions of the Tunisian government? Leave a comment below.
This entity, the president of Tunisia, said some really racist things about African migrants. He said that hordes of irregular migrants have come to Tunisia from sub-Saharan Africa, with all the violence, crime and unacceptable practices that entails. He called the situation unnatural and called it a conspiracy to change the demographic makeup of Tunisia, making Tunisia just another African country that does not belong to the Arabic Islamic world. What are my thoughts on this? You are not African. Why are you talking about Africa? You can leave Africa yourself. Acha, go out.
So there recently have been protests happening in Tunisia against racism because the president said something along the lines of he doesn't want sub-Saharan Africans to come to Tunisia because it's changing the demographic of Tunisia, which he doesn't like.
المظاهرة باش نقولوا لا للعنصرية ولا للفاشية باش نقولوا راهو تونس دولة وأرض إفريقية مرحبا بالأفارقة الكل. حتى استحمل.
Now look at this situation. First of all, shout out to my man Jaquez with the $5 love on the Cash App. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you more than you realize. Let's look at this scenario. Here's a young lady that has been kidnapped, and they are forcing her to marry this brother right here who purchased her. Racism and slavery in Morocco. So let's check this out.
استحمد ما عاقبوا شوف ساكن الدنيا استحمد يا ليلي يا ليلي ما عاقبوا شيء قولها لي فوق قولها لي فوق ما عاقبوا شيء تتبقي
These weirdos and these cowards attacked a pregnant woman who's 4 months pregnant and screamed abuse at her. Now, again, the reason why I had to say this is because many people watching this right now are probably non-Muslims or Muslims. But you would think that because Tunisia is an ex-Islamic state, that a lot of these Muslims are racist. Now, let me just explain something to you. There is Muslims that are racist. Yes, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. But Islam does not promote racism.
So Tunisia used to be a safe place to go to. Maybe about 8 years ago, my sister actually went and lived in Tunisia for a bit because she wanted to study the language. But fast forward, I think about maybe 3 years ago or something like that, there was a big shift in Tunisia and they were kicking out every black person out of there. And I remember my sister was telling me that They had even kicked out some of her colleagues who worked in international organizations. They did not want them there. So all that to say, I'm replying and talking about this because I saw a video where the Africans were saying, well, what the fuck are you doing in Tunisia? Like, you should have never went there for the lady that got kidnapped. And I feel for her so much, but like, you have to do your research before you go somewhere. A lesson for everyone.
We're gonna stop right there for a second. And like she said, you need to do your research. I want to drop a link for Will. If Will is still here, I'm gonna drop a link for him to come up and give some information on what guys should be looking out for when it comes to being safe in other countries. This link is just for Will. And let us continue on. And this is, does Islam teach you to be racist in this particular region of the world?
For example, my father told me all black men will leave their wives, this man will leave you. My mother told me all black people have AIDS. Like, those things are not true, first of all. Well, my father did not approve of my marriage to my husband.
And why
my
not?
father, yeah, because he's black.
Oh.
So there's a lot of racism in the Arab like I said, the culture. Islam says no black man is better than an Arab man. No Arab man is better than a black man. But my father and my mother were adamant against, no, he's black. No, they didn't even give him a chance. They didn't meet him. They didn't, give him an opportunity. And that hurt. But when something is wrong, it's wrong. So you got to stand up against it.
How you surprised? They own slaves, they sold slaves. They had one of the biggest slave trades in history. And you want to be surprised that they're racist. Let me ask you this, before you start saying, oh, it's a religion, where did it originate in? Where one of the biggest slave trades happened. And it's still happening today in Saudi Arabia.
Some Arabs are more racist than white people, and let's talk about that. Let's talk about how my aunt called me Shaghl Led when I went to Lebanon. Let's talk about how they tell me to stay out of the sun because I'm already too dark. Let's talk about how I want my best friend to come with me to Lebanon, but I'd rather spare her a terrible experience. Let's talk about how if I fell in love with a black guy and married him, how hard that would be for me, how hard it would be for him, how many hurdles we would both have to jump through, how I really wouldn't want him around my extended family because I wouldn't feel comfortable and he wouldn't feel comfortable. It's really gross. Maybe we should start taking some accountability and stop denying it.
So before he goes any further, I want to pull up my man Will. Shout out to Will being here.
Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Dre?
Yep, I can hear you, Will.
All right. First and foremost, I did study the video. There's definitely a lot of holes in the video, and it would, even being an intel analyst, trained in counterintelligence, SEER training, physical security, there's a lot of things that, it's just kind of cloudy with this whole situation. For me, understanding Northwest Africa, Tunisia. I'll just put this in perspective. You have two terrorist groups that have been identified by the U.S. government. You have the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, and we call them ISIS. Then you still have Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, which is still, one of the main factions. So everybody, anybody that gets kidnapped, is always either planned or it's a point of opportunity. In this case, I believe it was a point of opportunity. What I think happened I'll give a little bit of background. So I used to work for Joint Personnel Recovery Center. My ex-bosses, of course, they were, everybody knows when they were famous. You had Ambassador Crocker, that was the ambassador to Iraq when I was there. You had, oh, excuse me, this door might be slamming. Give me a second. All right. So, and then I was working for General Petraeus and Major General Ordino at the time. Of course, Major General Ordino is not with us anymore. So I was the NCOIC, and basically anybody that was part of the special operations, background, they end up working for that. I was basically the NCOIC for all of Iraq. So with her, with that situation, I believe she got drugged at the club. I believe that
that's what I was thinking.
It was constant communication between her and the hotel. Now, there's two things that, we call it either you were kidnapped or attempted kidnap. So it was more so of attempted kidnap. So there was confusion. Reason why I said there was confusion, and I believe she got kidnapped at the club. So they basically created an opportunity for her and her friend to get separated. I don't think she purposely left her friend. I think she was more so disoriented. So what happens in that process is a lot of people are complacent. And so when they go into these countries, they don't look at Tunisia is such a hot spot. So for her to not even understand, I don't even think they did any research. And also, here's something else that I want you to understand. If she had called the embassy, as she claimed she called the embassy, even if it was attempted, it is the United States. If you've been like I said, attempted kidnapping, it is the United States' responsibility to protect you at that point. They have safe places within the embassy, also some place where they can put you to get you out that way. So the fact that she said, and I'm not saying I don't know exactly what happened. It just seems kind of strange to me, especially two women. Okay, so there's a lot of policemen that people portray as being police. They do it here in Colombia. Right. It's nothing new. People do this all the time. There's so much stuff that was wrong with this situation. Now, the adrenaline to fight to get away, I believe that happened. I believe the guy was trying to quiet her. But I believe when she got to the hotel, she went up to her room. She was still disoriented. She came back downstairs, and then that's when they attempted to grab her. Now, did the hotel have anything directly into that? Possibly, possibly not. But you also have to remember, she's an American. Things can, as an American, they can fetch more for you politically or monetarily. So those are the things that we have to look at from that standpoint.
That's a good point.
Also, under the STEP program, she probably did, I'm just going to be honest, a lot of people that travel, even though I live in Colombia, even though I have all the experience, I'm still registered with the embassy STEP program. If anybody, know what that means, basically the STEP program is the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. You should be enrolled in that. Also, you should have some type of precautionaries in place, even your last will. Even when you travel internationally, we get taught this in the military that, or even as government civilians, you need to have something in place, to protect yourself. And with this young lady, I'm not going to go into what I think about her because I'm just going to talk about this from a professional standpoint. But if she was definitely a point of opportunity, they were more so concentrated on her for some reason and not her friend, which is kind of interesting.
I think about that.
So the thing is, she pretty much did something to irritate that situation. I don't know, maybe it's the way she was talking, probably over excessive intake of alcohol. Being in a foreign country where, because the thing is, right, she was with her friend, she got taken, she got, separated. So she probably tried to go outside, because I don't think they tried to take her directly in the hotel. I think she tried to go outside because she was disoriented. So that's how she got taken. So when she said she was at the hotel, I totally believe she went back to the hotel. But I also believe that there were people that were at the club watching them, and might even from the start of when they were at the airport. Oh, we got us 2 live ones. We got 2 American females. So a lot of people need to understand it. And guys, just because you are 6 feet, 250 pounds, that don't mean that they can't get you. You can still be got. And so one of the things when I look at this situation, right, and I hope people don't judge me. Well, I really don't care if people judge me. But the fact that she went to social media directly afterwards, people don't tend to do that right away. There's a remission that you go through process from a traumatic event. And do I believe she got beat up? Yeah, but we don't know if that was a scuffle or if she actually tried to talk to somebody. And, you know, there's so many different things with this situation, but the attempt failed. You know, she could have been talking to a guy in the club, and then, you know, now I'm not saying that she knew the person, but the thing is, you know, they probably took that as like, oh, okay, this chick is, you know, all free will, and she's not even protecting herself. And so they created that point of separation. And anytime they create the point of separation, we get taught as military people, and Ronan can attest to this, no matter what branch you're in, it's like buddy system. It's always your battle buddy in the Army, your wingman in the Air Force. You know, I mean, there's just so many things with this situation. I mean, for her to pick a country that is, you know, even though it's a developing country, because we don't use third world anymore. Third world was something that they used during World War II, pre-World War II. So a lot of people, when they say, hey, Colombia's third world, I'm like, okay, you don't know what you're talking about, but all right, whatever. But the whole thing is, right, I think in her case, it was definitely some foul play. But the thing is that let's be real about the kidnapping. Normally, if you're in a hostile area, and like I said, I don't know the whole situation. I don't know if she was escorted to the airport or not. Typically, they would like to confine you when you call the embassy, and they would like to, you know, get you protection right away. That's typically how they do. If you notice how even in Libya, when, you know, Libya was attacked and they wanted the Americans out of there, the first thing they did was to evacuate all the Americans. I was stationed in, I want to say Afghanistan at that time. And the thing is like, we basically wanted to go, but of course we couldn't go. That was for, you know, political reasons. But I think in her case, I think that yeah, now I'm gonna have to go there. First of all, she's a big mouth, and I have to say she's a big mouth. She has attitude. I got that from the video by the way she carried herself. I mean, you're being hostile towards the people in that country. You've just been abducted. That's not normal behavior.
True.
Normally, you're trying to get away. Let's just say it like this. If I was to get kidnapped here in Colombia, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remember my SEER training. I'm going to, you know, basically try my best to get away. I'm going to, you know, remember everything that, you know, about the people that accosted me. But anybody that doesn't know what SEER means, it stands for survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. Okay, so she did do the resistance and the escape. Go ahead, Dre.
Could you repeat that again? Survival, resistance.
It's called survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. This is what we call it. Now that's SEER level 1. There are 3 levels to it. So I'm qualified all the way up to SEER level 3. And so that's the reason why when I go to a country, I know how to blend in. And the thing is, you got to look at the color she's wearing. It also depends on what kind of colors you wear as well. So even if you're a foreigner, you don't want to wear colors like white when you're out. You want to wear more bland colors like tan. You want to wear dark, like navy, you know, blue. You don't want to wear anything that's going to make you look like, you know, you're not part of the population. If you go to any country and you remember how people are dressed, that's the reason why certain colors like neon green, neon orange are for your, your construction workers. And you see that because they want to be seen. That's the reason for that. And also, depending on the hotel, okay, I often tell people that even if they visit Medellin, I was like, okay, the fire department here is good. But if you're going to go to a hotel, I wouldn't get a hotel room past the 6th floor. Why is that? Because that's as far as the ladder is going to go. That's
a good point.
That's one of the things you have to look at. And then you want to make sure that, and you can request this from the hotels. It's not a problem. And you can request that, the 6th floor. You can request that I want it close to a fire exit, so that way you can egress immediately if need be. These are gems, guys, that y'all need to take into accountability and everything like that. So the reason why I said I didn't think that the hotel was directly, I think it was more, I wouldn't say so much as the hotel, I would say maybe a few people that were indirectly, and they might have been, approached by factions of the ISIS or Al-Qaeda. We don't know. There's still a lot of things we don't know because, like I said, it was a point of opportunity, and they probably were going to turn her over. We don't know where they were going to turn her over to because, like I said, I didn't get to debrief her. And the thing is, even if she had gotten kidnapped, even suspected, the United States is still going to want to debrief you.
That's what I was thinking too. She went directly to the local news and okay, she made it back home. And so the U.S. Embassy, who so-called spoke to her in that country, wouldn't debrief her or have a conversation with her once she got back to the States. That's what I was surprised about also.
Well, it's part of our protocol to brief anybody. Even if I'll give you a perfect example. Do you remember the gentleman that was held in North Korea for a long time? He ended up coming back to the States, but he was so malnourished and he ended up dying. But they debriefed him. He was debriefed, and that's what I want people to understand. He was still debriefed during that time while he was, in South Korea, and when he got back to the United States, he was still debriefed. That's one of the protocols because we want to get an understanding of the factions that took you. We want to understand where it was that, so we look at things in the intelligence field from who, what, when, where, why, and how. You need that. Those are the things that need to be answered. So who took her? Why they take her? When did they take her? How did they take it? Just simple things like that. These are the questions that we try to ask. And these are the things even when I interrogated or debriefed people when, they got, taken. It's just like, I give you a perfect example. We had a soldier, because we had a program in Iraq that Iraqis could join the military. They were given, the rank of V4 because they were interpreters. So that helped us out immensely. Well, anyway, Sergeant Altai's wife was also Iraqi. And on top of it, she lives in Dearborn, Michigan. So yeah, we can talk about that too.
Correct. I know.
Yeah, but the thing, because that's where all the Arabs are. And there's a lot of Iraqis there. People don't realize that. And so what's significant about that, right? This guy was an American soldier. And basically, I forget, we had Africans, I think Kenyans, that were actually guarding the gates for us when we were in Iraq. And so he would just walk off base. But the way he got taken was a point of opportunity. And that was from Mutada al-Sadr. And so what happened with him is that his wife, Big Mouth, basically, was telling all her friends, and then it got to other people. So that's how he ended up getting taken. And he was an Iraqi. He got taken by other Iraqis, and he got taken by Mutada al-Sadr. And they were in Sadr City. So if anybody knows anything about the Green Zone and the Tigris River, how that separated, Sadr City was right there. That was the same place where I forget the famous sniper from the Navy SEALs.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that basically that's where he was at when he was firing at people. He was in Sadr City. So when I see things like this, I'm not, like I said, I am not saying that this didn't happen. I'm just only giving my expert understanding of the situation to give some clarity. There's too many holes in this situation. I mean, also, I looked at her when I looked at her TikTok, so I went and looked at that too. She has like 1.9 million hits just on that alone. So I'm like, ooh, okay, this is even starting to get even more interesting. That's not a normal thing. I mean, so like I said, I'm not saying that didn't happen, but there's a lot of questions here. And I think, like, you know, a lot of the gentlemen, when I was reading their comments, they were like, yeah, why did she go to Brother Dre, I have no idea. I mean, let me just say it like this. By me being that even though I'm retired from federal service and I'm not in operations anymore, there's 2 countries that I cannot go to. I couldn't go to them even when I was in operation, when I was in service. I couldn't go to China, because anybody that's part of the intelligence or special operations community, you are not allowed to go to China or Russia. Last time I've been to Russia was back in the 90s. Well, I'm sorry, back in the late 80s, and that's because I was in Persian. I was a commo guy at the time, and I was doing SATCOM communications, and we were, you know, basically, you know, looking at their nuclear missiles and, you know, just doing the count and, you know, just sending that stuff back to Department of Defense, you know, at the Pentagon. So even when I look at this young lady, okay, who says she's not a partier, but yet there's videos before that showing her partying and while pregnant. Like I said, I'm not trying to degrade her. I'm just saying I want people to see that, okay, there's some holes there. He's saying that I'm not a party person. But you go to a foreign country, to a club. Now, if you go to the Tunisia site, I mean, for Department of State, and it tells you that terrorists operate high-profile public events, sporting contests, political rallies, demonstrations, holidays, stay away from that. Hotels, isn't that where she got abducted? Clubs, isn't that where she got first looked at? And restaurants that are frequent by tourists, place of worship, schools, parks, shopping malls. So she was a point of opportunity. And the sad part is we may find out the actual truth and we may not find out the actual truth. But the whole thing is, I can tell you that there's definitely some stories here, and I'm not buying it because, like I said, I wasn't the person that debriefed her, but just looking at the situation. But let's also talk about this, though, right? Our friend hasn't said anything.
That's true too.
So
true too.
normally,
even on social media,
right? So when you hear normally, and she's in the Maryland, D.C. area, people in my faction, in any of the 3-letter agencies, they're going to want to talk to her. The CIA, the NSA, you know, even some people in the military, because AFRICOM is going to want to talk and know what is going on, because AFRICOM right now is stationed out of Stuttgart, Germany. But the thing is, we wanted to be in Africa, but the problem is with that situation, there's African countries willing to accept us, but they would get so much fallback from other outside countries that's the reason why that hasn't happened yet. Kind of the same thing that happened here in Colombia, where Colombia wanted U.S. People, you know, soldiers on the ground. We still work with the Colombians indirectly because they still had army down here. But the thing is, Ecuador, Venezuela, you know, gave Colombia so much, and that's like as early as 2000. I want to say 2009. So latest 2009 when that happened. So when I look at this situation with her, I think that we have to look at it from a point of, can you answer the who, what, when, where, why, and how? Okay. And we still don't know who. We don't know why. We know when. We don't know the what. And we don't know the how. So so basically when she even, you know, let's say the attempted, this was from somebody that was totally unprofessional, because let's be honest, if they really wanted to get her, they would have got her. That's the reason why I say it was a point of opportunity. So if anybody has any other questions, I'd be willing to, but then I can also tell you how to be safe too. So
that's exactly, I want you to hold on to that part, because I want you to give us at least 3 areas of how to be safe when traveling to these other countries. I want to go back to the video for a few minutes, and then I'm going to come back to you. You're going to be up here with me, but I'm going to just showcase some more of the video, and then I want to hear from you at least 3 things that because this could happen to any of us in any country. It could happen to me and Andrea walking down the street in Italy. It could happen to somebody somewhere else. So I want to hear at least 3 suggestions that you or any of you guys in the comment might have when it comes to being safe in these other countries. But for now, I'm going to go back to the video. You were going to watch a little bit more of the clips of the video and then take it from there. As this brother was talking about how, there have been kidnappings all throughout that region, and they're surprised that she was even there.
If you are talking to this man on TikTok live video, before you know it, you are in their country thinking you go and meet your sugar, whatever. Be careful. This is not the time to be trusting random people overseas. Be smart. I feel like it's something that has been happening for so many years. The shine is not always gold on the, how do we say it? The gold is not always shine on the other side. Is it gold? What gold cannot, what shines is not gold. What always, no, there's not this. What shines is not always gold. How do we say that word? What shines is not gold. I forgot. What shines is, how do we say that one? That is it proverb? How do we call it? What shines is not always gold. The gold is not always shine. Oh, I forgot it.
Why Africans complaining that, oh, she should not have said Africa, she should have said the country name. No one knows Tunisia. The last time I heard about Tunisia was when I was in preschool, when I was little.
So nobody's in, as you can tell, these African brothers are saying that hey, nobody even talks about that country or that region, the average African.
Studying geography, no one knows Tunisia. You all have to understand that this woman is in pain. You want her to be selectful on her words? Of course she's going to say it's Africa. It's somewhere in Africa. Tunisia is in Africa. Stop complaining. If we're doing things right, she would say Africa. Tunisia is in North Africa. Let me tell you all, a lot of Muslim countries in North Africa are not safe, mostly for women. It's not safe. And they was not trying to kidnap her. I feel they was trying to harvest her organ because maybe she's black and they think, oh, no one will care for her when she get missing. Okay? They didn't know that she was going to fight so hard to get released. I guess maybe the hotel was in it on it because they didn't care when she was talking about, oh, I got kidnapped, can I see the CCTV footage? They didn't care about that. I think they was trying to harvest her organ.
I seen this video. They talking about some girl got kidnapped while going to a trip to Africa. I asked myself, why would you go to Tunisia or the country in Africa?
Right.
You want to go to Tunisia. Bro, we got Ghana. We got Nigeria. We got, you could have went to Congo. You could have went to, motherfucking South Africa. You could have went to Liberia. You want to go to Tunisia. I don't get it personally. Why would you want to go to Tunisia? Nobody ever think about going to Tunisia when the first thing comes to mind in Africa. You could have went to Rwanda. Fuck it. Or you could have went to Tanzania. They got a beautiful city in Tanzania. You want to go to Tunisia. Shit, they don't even speak English down there. I mean, thank God the U.S. Embassy saved you.
Now, before you people go for her, let me explain what is going on. Now, there's this black American lady who came to Africa. Africa. For me, I totally understand her. Bro, this is someone who's traumatized. Even though this is something that most often they do. They'll generalize everything and say it's Africa. In this case, I don't think that should be the problem. This is something that happened on the continent. Whether we like it or not, Tunisia, they are part of Africa. I saw some people in the comment section saying that Tunisia, they're not Africa, they are not part of Africa. If you don't know, they are the reason why we have the name Africa. Tunisia, they are the ones who got the name Africa first. After the Romans conquered the Carthaginians over there, then they gave them the name Africa. And it became the name of this continent.
You get it? So there we go. Found out where the name Africa first was originated in Tunisia.
That is beside the point, bro. This is a woman who has been kidnapped. Whether we like it or not, she came to Africa and it happened over here. But in a way, if Africans are furious about this thing, you have to understand We have different people over here, different people. Right now, when you Google the continent with the highest crime rate in the world, Africa will come second.
Why y'all being weird? That woman literally fought for her life. The bruises that she walked away with were absolutely insane. Stories like that can seriously make you scared to travel. Every woman's fear is being kidnapped. I hope she gets the justice that she deserves, and I hope they investigate that hotel, because if they don't do anything about it now, I'm telling you, it's just gonna keep on happening.
Oh my god.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello? I've been kidnapped and I just escaped my kidnapper.
Okay, ma'am, what's your location?
I think I'm in New Zealand.
Okay, do you see any street signs near you?
Okay, yes, I see a street sign up
I
ahead.
need you to get to your nearest street sign and tell me what street you're on.
Okay, I'm just going there now. Okay,
Tell us what street you're on in New Zealand. Okay.
Ma'am, what street are you on? Ma'am, what street are you on?
name is...
Yeah, what's
Can I just call you back in 1 second?
Are you in an emergency or not?
I will tell you my location. I just need to know how to tell you my location.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, just 1 moment.
Okay.
Hey Google, I'm gonna send you a photo of a street name. Google, can you tell me how to pronounce that street name?
Te taumata whakatangihanga ko wauau o tamatea turi pūka ka piki mai ngā horonuku pō kai whenua ki tana tahu.
Google, can you please repeat the pronunciation of the street name?
Te taumata whakatangihanga ko wauau o tamatea turi pūka ka piki mai ngā horonuku pō kai whenua ki tana tahu.
Okay,
911, what's your emergency?
Hi, I just called a second ago. I got kidnapped. And the lady asked me. Okay, that was you. Okay, so I am in. Okay, you want me to just spell it for you? Okay, it's T.
Spell it phonetically.
Phonetically,
Yes.
ma'am. My kidnapper will be here by the time.
Do you want to be rescued or not?
T for Tango.
Okay.
A for Alpha.
Okay.
U for Uniform.
Okay.
M for...
Boy, there you are. You think you can
my
escape?
kidnapper's here.
Get back in the car now. You're not going anywhere this time.
Get along with discovering. Snooze, you lose, and then you wake up in. Turn motherfucker, tangi hanga ko. Tamatia turi pu kaka piki manga hura no kubo kai whenua. Keep them not time, you wake up.
911, what's your emergency?
Tangi hanga ko. Tamatia turi pu kaka piki manga hura no kubo kai whenua. Keep them not time, you wake up. Turn motherfucker, tangi hanga ko. Tamatia turi.
She doesn't even know it yet, but in one day from here, 2 men will try to kidnap her in Egypt.
Hello, my name is Nick, and I have been kidnapped. To ensure, can you not? My God, I am literally trying to get you money right now.
Before she goes into it, let me hear from my brother Will once again.
Far as safety, go to a country, even if you don't get a country, what you say, interview or briefing, you should at least have, we call a POC, or in the military, we say sponsor. So somebody should have already told her which hotels, and also you can actually send messages to the embassy before you go, asking about specific hotels, if it's safe,
True.
crime level in that area. So those are a lot of things that she could have done. But I could tell you the thing that stuck out the most to me was she did not keep a low profile. So us as Americans, we're loud everywhere we go. We don't keep to ourselves. We don't blend in with our surroundings. And so just even when she was talking to the staff, or even when she was out in public, she was there just to, have fun. But the thing is, not having any type of understanding of the dynamics of that country, the crime area in that country, and the facts of those two in that country. I would not ever go to a country that has terrorists that are on the U.S. list. I mean, that right there is a no-no. So she put herself in that situation. Her friend put herself in that situation. I'm still, like I said, I'm still trying to decipher. When we say decipher, like basically to understand the situation. Because her friend hasn't said anything. Maybe that'll come out later. But her friend hasn't said anything. And I'm gonna say this. Not trying to stereotype. Black women like to spread shit. They like to talk. And so for her friend to not say anything, it's that's the reason why I'm like, okay, this is not the whole story. There's a lot of missing details in this. And so I don't want to make, assumptions or make accusations, but I will say that by her being flamboyant, by her being loud, by her not even having a safety plan. I mean, most people when they go to countries, right, they don't even think about having a safety plan. I mean, I can almost guarantee you she did not have anything for like, okay, what happens if you get sick for medical? How do you egress from the country? How far are you from the airport? These are things that I think about. I mean, I want to know, is there hotel security? Can I pay somebody in that hotel to watch out for me? I mean, there's a lot of things that could have been done that she did not do. I don't know what floor she stayed on. I hadn't researched that hotel, but I mean, there's just a lot of missing details for us to, give true clarity right now. The most important thing that we can say is that it was a point of opportunity. And that's how the U.S. will label it. They'll say it's a point of opportunity. Now, as far as them investigating that, they're not going to investigate that. I can tell you right now, they're not going to investigate that. The embassy itself, and let's just say for some instance, right, that you would have to sign a disclosure from the embassy saying you don't actually want their help. And they would disclose that, if she's saying that she asked the embassy for help. But I don't know how deep that goes. I mean, you could probably go to the State Department site and find something on that. But that's not always public information. I think for her, in this case, was it a traumatic situation? Yes, it definitely was a traumatic situation. But I call it, basically, I'm going to tell you what I'm labeling: partying gone wrong.
Each scenario, as I spoke earlier, gentlemen, and Will, I noticed a common thread among those that get drugged, robbed in Colombia, Brazil, other countries, kidnapping as well. I'm not saying don't do this, okay? So hear me out, gentlemen. I'm not saying don't do this, but I am noticing a common thread. A lot of times it's parallel to your nightlife behavior. I'm not saying don't go out, have fun, don't go to these countries partying. I think one of the things that keep Andre and I safe in a lot of countries, I kid you not, we find more fun doing things during the daytime among everyday people than we ever do at night. I notice a lot of times, guys, it's rare that I've seen guys, and it's happened, but it doesn't happen as common. It's rare that I've seen guys drugged in Colombia and it was daytime. Normally it has happened when the sun is going down or all the way to early in the morning. Every blue moon it happens and it was a daytime incident. But most of the time, guys get caught up in Brazil, Colombia, even in the United States, it's usually an evening event, whether it be a date, whether it be you clubbing and partying, whether you're out there looking for pay for play with your boys, whether you're sitting out front in front of a bar and you're drinking. Whatever it is, I noticed that common thread. So when I heard this with this young lady and she said we were at a club, I was not surprised, because we're not thinking clearly when we're inebriated. first of all. And then we're on fun mode amplified at a club and party and things like that. Like I said, I'm not saying don't go out when you go to other countries. You know, you come here, we all have fun anyway. But what I am saying is it's not a coincidence that a lot of these stories were heard from the white guy that we just listened to, who was in Greece, and he said that he was at the club with his boy, went into the men's room, came out, and the guys attacked him. This was at night. This was a club atmosphere where there's a lot of tourism or foreigners are located. I'm not, like I said, I don't want to beat a dead horse in regards to this, but I do notice that common thread. Or am I off base, Will?
No, I mean, you're exactly on point. I give you a personal experience. So right before Operation Desert Storm, and I tell you like this, in 1990, stationed in Germany, went to Frankfurt, Germany, was going to the pay for play. We was down in the red light district in Frankfurt. I was with a group of 6 people in Germany. And I'm glad that I had, you know, my boys with me and they didn't leave me, but I got drugged and didn't even know I got drugged. And I got drugged in the actual club, okay, which changed my whole outlook of, you know, partying. I'm not a big partier for going out. That lesson right there was just heartfelt. That was one of the things I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna ever let that happen again. So even if you go out in Colombia, if you are, or no matter what country, if you are with, you know, 4 or more, you're probably going to be okay. But understand this. This is the most important part. One of y'all have to stay sober to watch what's going on. At least one person has to stay sober, and you have to make sure that there's no point of separation. If you're gonna go to the bathroom, I know guys don't like to hear this, y'all be like, oh, this is a B move. No, you need to go to the bathroom together, okay? Women do it all the time. I know y'all, that might not work in the United States, okay, I get that, but that's a safety thing. Have your battle buddy with you, go to the bathroom. The chances of you getting attacked in the bathroom together is very rare. They want to isolate you when you're by yourself. These are the things that you learn in SEER school. So I'm telling you guys, even though my buddy, when he came down, he's an Air Force guy. I mean, he's a big guy, man. I mean, you know, 6'6", 235 pounds. But you know what he did? He was like, well, I need to go to the he said, I need to go to the ATM. He said, can you wash my 6? Bruh, say less. That's exact. No matter what, you have to watch each other's back, guys. And correct. I'm telling you, that nightlife, yeah, it's just like what you said, Dre. I mean, honestly, I could go out here. Look, I know I got people I can trust where I stay at, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't trust too many people. So the thing is, it just goes like that. Somebody's asking a question.
You say a question for Will. You say because of kidnapping is all over the media. Would the State Department debrief her, as you were saying earlier, now that she's back on U.S. soil, or will they not do anything about it?
Well, I'm gonna be honest.
Her by now,
she should have got debriefed. Normally, there's 2-level or 3-level process. Okay, she should have got debriefed while she was in the country. That's the first debriefing. And then the second one would happen once she gets back stateside. And if there needs to be a follow-up, depending on what happened, then they will figure out which agency needs to be involved with that in order to get the best information to find out, well, who was this person? They would also try to find out the identification of this person. Even though she, like I said, even though she was discombobulated, the thing is that what I truly believe is that when she got drugged at the club, okay, because I don't know what's drugged, so it probably was a slow, release drug, because they have quick release, like scopolamine is more quick release. Okay, so depending on what drug she had, I mean, there's other drugs out there that can be used and it can be delayed. So maybe I don't know how far she was from that club. That's another thing. I don't know how far the hotel was, because then I could probably narrow it down to the drug if I knew that. There was a lot of things that we can kind of say, okay, we can look at this person like she's a small person. She's not big. So we would kind of assume, like, depending on the volume, the dosage, whatever, what type of drug, was she inebriated? Like 9 times out of 10, do I think she got inebriated? I'm gonna say this. I don't think that the club actually did that to her. I think that it was some people that she was around and she wasn't watching what she was drinking, and that's how that situation happened.
Yeah, something happened, because it couldn't have been like she went downstairs to get a roll of toilet paper, like she said, and was it on the toilet paper? And she said last thing she remembered was passing out, asking for toilet paper. But as she said, that was the last thing she remembered. That doesn't necessarily mean that was the last thing that happened prior to the scenario unfolding the way that it did.
You just said something. By her going downstairs for, and I want to bring this into information, by her going downstairs, right, asking for toilet paper, there's also a possibility that whatever drug they gave her could have caused her diarrhea. There's many drugs out there that do certain things to your body. So we listen. So like I said, when I listen to these things and I dissect it over and over, I didn't put as much of my professionalism into this. I just kind of went off face value. I only listened to her story like 5 times, but let's just say in a real scenario, believe this or not, I know people are not going to believe this, but believe it or not, if I was going to debrief her and I'm listening to her and I got her on video, I'm probably going to look at that video about 200 to 300 times just to get an understanding. And I'm going to be taking notes. I'm going to be looking at her facial features. I'm going to be looking at her breathing. I'm going to be looking at her eye movement. I'm going to be looking at her posture. It's a lot of things that I'm going to take into account. I mean, like I said, I could talk about this forever, but hopefully, next year, Dre, like I said, I did do the high value mail side. I am going to try to, get with Obsidian and try to see if I could do a briefing on physical security for us as men, of how we need to travel, what it is we need to look for. Because I think it's important that we, you have to protect yourself and you need to understand how these things work. Because the thing is, when you are an American, you always have to remember there is always somebody out there, when you're outside the United States, trying to take advantage of you.
True. Great point. Great point. Let's watch the last bit of this video. It's only a few more seconds left. Here we go.
Y'all, a passport bro was kidnapped in the Philippines. I know the passport bros don't like when I make videos about them, but here we are. Stop giving me content. So this passport bro was from Vermont. Earlier this year, he married a woman in the Philippines and he moved to the Philippines. He moved to a remote island in the Philippines, and he had recently came back to the United States to work, stack up his coins, and then he went back to be with his wife. Shortly after he got back, he was kidnapped from his residence. Well, they tried to kidnap him. He fought back. They then shot him, and then they dragged him on a boat and took off with him. So obviously the police in the Philippines are trying to locate him, but there was a travel advisory for this remote island that he lived on because they have a history of kidnappings and, holding people for ransom. So hopefully, he isn't, killed and he could just give them some money and they will let him go. But this is another video. I keep warning these passport bros to be careful. Okay, the last video was Brazil. The video before that I made, this is all in the last few months, 3 months, was Colombia. Be freaking careful. I wouldn't be surprised if the wife had something to do with it. You are an American. It's very clear, even when I go out the country, it's very clear that I'm a foreigner, that I don't belong there. And then you're going to move to this country and move to a remote part of the country. At least be in an area where it's common to see, he was white, to see white people, to see, Americans, to see tourists, I personally think that passport bros are losers, but I'm not saying that they deserve to be kidnapped and shot and all of this. I'm not going to go that far. That's doing a little bit too much, okay? But, just be careful, because it's just like, it's a common occurrence, and I know that it's probably happening more than we know, but we only get so much information. Be careful. I know y'all don't like American women. Y'all don't have to. Y'all don't have to like American women. Go get your woman from London or something. Go.
She's spending too much time jabbing, but she's making a point of, she's spending too much time jabbing, but she is making a good point in regards to being wise with your behavior and with your steps when you're in other countries. And basically she's the end of the video anyway. She's the end of the video of what she had to say about being wise, especially this time of the year. As I was saying, give me at least three tips that you would recommend for guys when they are relocated. I know you gave me the SCRE, but also that's in a situation, you know, of dire strait. But just basically, if you were doing a consultation with someone, and based off of your military knowledge and experience, what tips would you give to the average individual?
Well, yeah, Dre, one of the most important things that I think that people don't take into consideration, they don't take into consideration language. And you don't have to speak the whole language, but you need to understand the buzzwords from the people around you. A lot of times people talk directly around you and they say buzzword. Understand what kidnap, understand what the word means in that language for take, understand what it means in that language for follow. I mean, just simple things like that. Also, when you if you're going to book a hotel, right? Not only do you check out the hotel, but don't always go in the same interest that, you know, ask them if they have a second interest. Most hotels, you know, in the States do. But, you know, of course, in Colombia, you know, unless it's an American hotel, it's only, you know, one interest in, one interest, you know, out. But let's look at it from this point, right? So if it has a parking garage, you can go out that way too. You don't always have to go out the same place that you enter or the same place that you exit. I mean, take those things into account when you do that. Also make sure that you're just not flamboyant. You know, you need to take care of yourself. I know people don't like this, and I mean, I'm gonna say it to you like this. I only drink at home. I don't drink when I go out to, like I said, I got my vodka right here. That's me. I love vodka, man. But I drink at home. But even when I come, you know, to Cali to see you, you'll be like seeing me and you'll be like, hey, Will ain't drinking nothing but water. Then he's like, you only want bottled water. Yeah, because you know what? I need to watch. I need to see. I just don't, like I said, I have been drugged before. When I mean, back 8 years ago. I mean, and that's just something that you just don't want to have happen to you. But guys, also transportation, right? You have to have a dedicated transportation person when you go to that country. Do not, I mean, like I said, I got a guy here in Colombia. I have two. If one fails, I don't have a single point of failure. Okay, have a triple point of failure or something. So in other words, you know, you need to, if you have another phone or something like that, get you a SIM card, electronic SIM card that has the Colombia number. Turn off all your Bluetooth stuff while you're out, okay? Because all your information, I can tell you right now, I can get all your information just off Bluetooth. You'd be surprised. I can get all your information off Bluetooth. So they don't even have to take your phone. A lot of guys travel with Bluetooth. They got their headphones in. I'm gonna tell you right now, don't be too proud to have a cable to plug into that phone. I mean, that's the safest way, even when you're on the airplane. So I'm gonna give you a perfect example of that, of what happened to me. And this happened to me back in, I want to say 2003. I was in the airport, and this was just going home on leave. And I know it had to be somebody white doing this shit, because they was like, hey, look at that. They actually got a message across my phone that said, hey, look at that nigger. I mean, they did that through my Bluetooth. So I learned then, have your Bluetooth off. Don't have your Bluetooth on. I tell this to people many times, okay? Turn it off. Even when you're on the airplane, have you ever noticed that if you look up your Bluetooth, it has everybody Bluetooth on there? These are things that you need to pay attention to, okay? Also, look at that country, study that country's currency. Find out what like for me in Colombia, I'm not going to carry around no more than 500,000 pesos. 500,000 pesos can get me whatever I need to do when I'm out during that time. But remember, I don't drink anyway when I'm out, so I'm not worried about that. But that's enough money that if I have to do something, that is going to be okay. I don't know if y'all remember the interview when I had a girlfriend, but I also had my own place where I could egress to, because I didn't want to depend on her. Also have a secondary hotel that you can have on standby just in case if you have to egress from that hotel. Especially, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, when she was at that hotel, I would have been looking for another hotel. I wouldn't even stayed in that same hotel. The fact that that's the reason why I said there's just so much to that is just, like I said, I told y'all about,
You're right. She did stay there.
Right. So those are things. So have you a buddy in country? That's the first thing. Somebody, if you don't get that country briefing, have somebody to do that. Okay. And then you will be fine. He said your Bluetooth is not code protected. Bro, there's people that can get around that stuff. Look, you can have your phone turned off, right? And people can actually still turn your phone off. That was the reason why we can't have our phones in the skiff anymore. Because even if they said, oh, you had to take the battery out of it in order for it to not be tampered with. Well, guess what? You can't do that with an iPhone. You can't do that with an Android. Okay. Right. So these newer phones, it's like, even though you turn it off, it can still be turned on regardless of the fact. So have you a guide, get your country briefing. Also, look at the STEP program for the embassy, and it tells you all the things that you need to have for safety, far as medical, far as the police. Have all these things on speed dial when you're in that country. Okay, that's important. Have somebody that's going to be a dedicated driver for you. That's important. You have to have a dedicated driver. And the third most important thing, dress accordingly. Look like and keep your mouth shut. Don't be all loud. Because I'm telling y'all, when y'all come down here, these Colombians be talking mad shit, talking about, look at them loud ass Americans. I hear it all the time. They be like, Will, are those your friends? And the thing is, I'm American. They ask me if y'all my friends. And I'm like, nope, I don't even know that. I'd be like Dre. I don't know that foolish. I don't know that. So the thing is, I don't have time for that. That's the reason why when me and Dre was in Miami, we stayed to ourselves. We congregated. We talked about some things, but I wasn't out there trying to party. I didn't even want to be there. Only reason why I was even in the conclave because I was meeting all you good brothers and stuff. But man, if I don't have to go back to the United States, shit, I'm good.
Absolutely correct. Let me pull something up for us that you were just talking about, and I'm going to drop the link to it as well. You were just talking about the STEP program.
Yes, sir.
Let's pull that up on the screen. And the STEP program, I'm going to drop the link for you guys that need to enroll in it. And that was just one of the things that will protect you when it comes to traveling, so people will know where you are as a U.S. citizen. So let's look right here. All you guys.
Before I forget, guys, tell your family members. At least one person in your family should know you in that country and know how to get in touch with you. A lot of y'all leave the country and don't even tell your family members.
True. That is so true. So these are the steps to enroll in the program. You just click right here, click on this link here, and then all the instructions and other information on the value of the program is right here in regards to security alerts and demonstration alerts and health alerts and other alerts that they have that you'll be able to receive on a regular basis because you enrolled in this program. It's absolutely free to set it up, absolutely free. So I'm going to drop the link once again for you guys. So after the live stream, you can set this up and be a part of the program, the STEP program, because that's very, very important for you guys to be a part of that. We have no excuse, gentlemen. Even though I don't, and we don't live in the States on a regular basis. We at least know to be enrolled in this program. So definitely, guys, make sure you take advantage of it because it's not difficult for you to do. Not difficult at all. And then
it gives a lot of information. It's a lot of information you have to give, but if you're taken, this is what helps the embassy. So I'm gonna tell you like this, right? You really don't want to be on that process where you got somebody like me that got to come look for you, because like I said, if somebody truly gets you, that's the reason why you always hear that old saying, 40 at the first 48. That first 48 is serious. Because if we can't find you in that first 48, and like I said, it also depends on the training, because if it's a professional group, like when you had the Taliban that took that one, E4 and stuff like that, I mean, they moved him around so much that we had no way of finding him. After 48 hours, it's like, there it is. You pretty much gone. And they can pretty much do to you whatever they want to do to you.
True.
So don't make yourself a target. When you make yourself a target, being all loud, and I'm going to tell y'all guys something. I know y'all ain't going to like this. When y'all go down to places like Park Yajeres, trust me, people are looking at you.
Yes,
they're looking at you. They're looking at you. You're a point of opportunity. And many of y'all, luckily, don't get taken because y'all are in a group of like 3 or more. But I guarantee you, if you are by yourself, or if they can create separation. So I will say it to you like this. I know you guys don't like this either. It's like this. If you're going to get what you pay for play chick and you're going to take her back to your spot, I understand y'all 3 came together. If y'all came together, y'all should lead together. It's like this. Them pay for play chicks will wait on you. You tell them like, look, me and my boys, look, if y'all go back to the same hotel together, that's one thing. But leaving and separating from each other, that's a dangerous game y'all playing.
True. And I know I'm famous for that one back in the day. My man, No Excuse, got a question for you. Shout out to my man, Rob, No Excuse. And he's always in Africa for one reason or another. Shout out to Rob. Rob says, what does he think about the Apple Watch feature that you can use satellite when there's no data around?
So depending on what type of Apple Watch you have, if it's GPS with the cellular, that's actually not a bad thing. Most criminals aren't really actually looking for that, so they're not going to tap into your watch. However, what's cool about that is you can share your location with the family member while you have that watch on. So take that into account. The thing is, I always say that if you're going to travel to another country, I would say have a separate phone that you don't care about. And I mean, like I said, you can get you a SIM card when you get down here for any phone, basically, as long as it's GSM. So you can go to Walmart or Dollar Store and get you a phone. Don't carry your actual phone that got all your flight information, your credit card stuff. And also, I mean, guys, like I said, I think one day, Dre, I'll hit you up with some security things of what guys can do, and we'll probably just do a show on that. So, to basically say, this is what I travel with, my basic necessities. Even while you're in here, even in Colombia, you got to have a trusted person, somebody that you have vetted, that you can trust. I have 2 people that I can, that I trust, that will come get me anytime that I need. And I'm gonna tell you right now, right? You'd be surprised. If you got a good taxi driver, and because one, you got his license, you got his information, you're paying him, you're gonna bring him other business, that guy will take care of you.
Yes, he will.
He's gonna take care of you. And on top of it, it's like I got several friends. I know where he lives at. I like, look, man, can you hold this for me? It's like, and hey, he got me covered and stuff like that. I mean, you just gotta have somebody that you can trust. I wouldn't be trusting too many females in the pay for play area. I mean, I like I said, have your fun. I'm not saying don't have your fun, but be smart.
You can't trust the pay for play women? You mean you, even though you got them in your phone by the tens, you can't trust the pay for play women to come be there for you in a pinch? What?
Hey, look, I done heard a story about these guys making these chicks their girlfriend over the weekend when they visit. I hear all these stories and I just be like, oh my goodness. Like when Dre said that he be laughing at y'all, you know what? I believed him, but I didn't realize how bad it was until I actually moved down here. I mean, they seriously be like, man, what's wrong with these foreigners? They gotta be stupid because they just trusting of everything, give up all their money. It's just like this. If I tell them I need something, they just give me the money. And so, guys, think of it like this, right? She was getting around before you got there. Why are you paying for her to come see you?
She was walking. I always say she was walking the planet before I got off the plane. She was walking the planet before I got off the plane. She'll still walk the planet when you guys get back on the plane. But some guys love to feel better about themselves. And I kid you not, this is just Andre's hypothesis. I noticed that guys no matter what race in the West, are somewhat beat down as far as feeling like you're a part of something positive. You're beat down at work. You ain't got no girlfriend at home in the States because the ladies just aren't as supportive or appreciative. You don't feel appreciated back home in the States or in Canada. And then they get on a plane and they have beautiful women from beautiful countries that are feminine, showing attention and appreciation. These guys just open up their wallets and pay for it. Instead of just carrying themselves with a thank you, they open up their wallets and say thank you. I'm so happy you appreciate me. What do you need? I'll do anything for you because you showed me appreciation. And I think it's a lot of it has to do with the fact that men just aren't appreciated back home, and they're so quick to open up their wallets in other countries and do anything for these women. And you're correct. Men in these countries talk about us like crazy, and the women talk about us because they think we're stupid. I want to say that again. Will is absolutely correct. The women talk about us when we get back on the plane bad because they think we're the stupidest people that ever walked the planet. You're an American. You live in a country where money can be made and opportunity is there. And you're coming down here and you blowing money. Even when I don't even ask for it, you give it to me. And then the men down here who are only making $300 to $500 a month, they're looking at us like we're stupid because they've been living here their whole lives and have been sleeping with these women. And they feel like, wait a minute, you guys are paying all this money for the same women we went to high school with, the same women that we've been sleeping. You're paying all that money to sleep with my coworker. Just imagine if somebody came to America, Will, and paid all this money to sleep with somebody that's your coworker that you've been knowing for 15 years. You're looking like, and she looks just like a regular American chick. Well, we don't see what what the other guys see in regards to that.
Well, I call that the starstruck syndrome.
That's a good point.
Because I look at it like this, right? I mean, I was just in the taxi, talking to a guy today, and he was asking me like, "Hey, how long you been here?" And honestly, I just met the guy, so I told him 3 years. Even though never ever tell them the exact. That's another thing, guys. Don't tell them the exact time. So when I said 3 years, and then I'm speaking Spanish, he's like, "Oh, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about." But one of the things he said to me, he said, "Will, Senor Will, don't ever pay for it. You ain't got to pay for it here in Colombia." Bruh. When he said that, I was like, yeah, I said, that was my first, 2 times when I was, in Colombia. But I said, ever since then, I said, I don't even do that. But, the thing is, just like what you said, Dre, I mean, when you're not used to seeing beautiful women, I mean, most of the military guys are because they traveled the world. So they got to see that all the time. So it was no big deal. They don't have the starstruck syndrome, because if you look at, Europe, you in Germany, you got everybody there except for the Colombians. You got every nationality. You got the Turkish, you got the, the Russians, you got, the Italians, the Spaniards, you got people from Switzerland. So when the guys come down here, right, just like what you said, I think the best thing is like, take your time. Take your time and don't be afraid to say no, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I done met some really beautiful women down here, but it's like as soon as they ask me for something, I'd be like, "No, I ain't got you, baby girl. I'm good. I got my own bills I'm trying to take care of." But you know what that does? You gonna find out if she truly likes you as a friend or if she trying to use you. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I done had several chicks straight just ghost me because I wasn't that dude that they can get money out of. Chick asked me to give her money for a varicose vein operation. I'm like, well, that's your varicose vein operation problem. It ain't mine. I'm like, I was like, I'm good. I'm not.
She want the true proceeds.
Hey, bro, she wanted everything. She wanted everything, big bro. And the whole thing is, even when I hear, black guys that come down here and they'll say, well, the white Colombians don't, want to mess with, that's only, they don't mess with brothers. No, let me tell y'all something. I'm in the process of buying a house. It's all about how you dress and how you carry yourself. And I'm telling you, I'm meeting millionaire chicks that I was like, damn. Okay, like the one lady that did the appraisal for the house that I'm trying to get, right? So she's an architect. Her husband's a architect. They got a business. And so she started introducing me to some friends. And I ain't even moved to Barranquilla yet. And she already talking about, hey, you good person. You got education. I got friends that I'm like, so, and these girls got jobs. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna say it like this. I'm about to get cold-hearted like Dre now. Unfortunately, between Colombia and America, you got the bad dudes. I'm not talking about you good passport brothers. I'm talking about you got the brothers that's coming down here that ain't no freaking good, messing with the girls that ain't no freaking good. And that is just a situation for disaster. And so y'all will walk right past the chick that's in the airport that's smiling at you, that speak a little bit of English, and all you got to do is just say, hey, what's your number? Can we go out for coffee? One thing about Colombian women, they going to be like either yes or, well, we can go hang out, but I got a friend for you. Because, I mean, that's just how they are. I mean, if you friendly and they see that you a good guy, they going to take care of you, man. I mean, that's just how this culture is. But you have to be respectful and carry yourself as such. I will tell you, you have more success as a single guy doing that than if you're in a group. Because when they see you in a group, they automatically associate you with being, like, oh, you just trying to, you just out here trying to have fun. Y'all down here for the play. Y'all down here for the guy trip. That's how they see you. So if you really want to change the dynamics, change your mindset of how you think. Don't assume that, you're going to, these Colombian women gonna understand you. You gotta understand, most of these women that don't have jobs, the women who don't have jobs, they in survival mode. So that means they gonna get as much off of you as they can. They gonna try to get you to take care of not just them, they whole family. I know, cause I done had them try it to me, and I'd be like, "No, baby girl, I don't do that. No, you gotta go find you somebody else." Then they'd be like, "Oh no, I'm sorry, we can still be friends." I think I'm gonna have to put some distance between you because you already disrespected me by coming at me with that stupid crap. So my whole thing is and it's like this. Come down here. If y'all want to meet some really good women, go to the gym. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Go take a dance class. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
I took my first dance class and I got like 6 numbers. Wasn't even trying. Chick's like, oh, you want to come out? He's like, this chick was
I've been saying that for the longest. Will dudes do not listen? Maybe they'll listen to you.
I don't
listen to you. They don't listen to me.
No, I don't think so, big bro. I mean, my whole thing is when these cameras go off, fuck what Will's saying, fuck what Dre's saying. It's like I'ma still do what I'm doing. I'ma still go hard in the paint. And and I'm like, and then when you sitting up there all sad and stuff, look, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I made mistakes. That's the reason why when I told Dre, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I wouldn't even do long distance. If that chick, look, if I had to do all over again, I wouldn't even do long distance. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't even do it, man, because I'm gonna tell you why. When Dre was talking the other day, when we was talking about women cheating in Colombia, let me tell y'all something. I literally, when I moved to Colombia, ex-chicks that I was like, those my girlfriend, they got dudes, they got husbands. Them chicks was still trying to give me the fruits. Come on, man. I was like, bruh, ever since then, I'm like, yeah, I can't trust none of y'all. I'd be like, yeah, I'm good. I'd be like, yeah. They'd be like, when they get mad at me because I tell them I don't want to have a girlfriend, they'd be like, why? I said, because I don't trust y'all.
Don't reveal too much. Shout out to you.
Yeah, but I mean, big bro, I told you this in person. I done told you this many times, even in the consult. I said, bro, if it wasn't for you and the things that you said, I would have a terrible time down here. And I think when you come down here, like, I've not ever had a bad time in Colombia, but the only reason why is because of, shows like, yours, okay?
Right.
And like, you know, even life with David was pretty good. Life with David, it was like, hey, don't do this, don't leave with your pockets. And you know, even, you know, the thing is, I'm gonna let y'all know, if you make it too easy for a Colombian woman, she really ain't respecting you. You might think she is, but she really ain't respecting you. You got, if you say no, they'd be like, oh, okay, daddy, I can't get over on you. And then they'd be apologizing to you. That's how these Colombian chicks are. But if they see that they can get, every time they ask for something, and you coming with your credit card, coming with your, bruh, I can't make this shit up. Literally, I'm talking to a dude that was in the military, and him and a couple of fellas, and I'm asking them, like, dude, why? They met some chicks online, and look, before they even got the country, they sending these chicks. I mean, this is out of dudes' mouth. Y'all sending these chicks money even before y'all even hit freaking Colombia?
Yes,
I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself,
very common.
I'm scratching my head like, wait a minute, man. It's like, wait, you did what? I'm like, man, no, bro. No, bro, she good. Okay. And you know what? I guarantee, I'm gonna take, okay, I got one for y'all. So I live in Bejo. So now I'm about to give y'all some real game. I live in Bejo. We'll fucking that same pay for play chick for free. Hear me again. Will is sleeping with that same chick that y'all seeing in Park Lejeres for free. Oh yeah, by the way, I done met her family. Have y'all? Yeah, I know I shouldn't even went there. Look, let me shut up because I'm saying too much. That's the reason why y'all don't need to be leaving no money to these chicks. Because I'm telling you, I'm telling you, when you the side dude, I said this stuff last night. When you the side dude, you see how scared these chicks are. And then when you out of country, come on, bruh. I'm gonna tell you something. It's like this. These pretty Colombian girls, I didn't heard them talk, man. That's why I'm glad I started learning. These Colombian girls be talking about how many men they can juggle, who they can get the most money from. And I ain't even talking about, like, they got their Colombian dudes, but they talk about y'all. He said, Will, what do you consider?
What do you consider free?
I'm gonna say it like this. All I did was invite the chick out to coffee, bro. And that's it.
Right.
That's it. Right. And I'm talking Spanish. I'm just being cool with it. And then she's like, well, she's like, bruh, now come on, T-Mac, you know I ain't mess with your girl. we didn't met. He already know that. We didn't already had that. See, he being a fool now.
I know, right? As much as T-Mac is here.
We done hung out and we done talked about some things. I even got a consultation from T-Mac. T-Mac also gave me information on what to do, what to look for, who to ask things for. Because you know what? It's like when you guys, what you say, I'm going to say it like this. Purpose is everything. Chase your purpose, okay? I haven't started my channel yet. I am going to start my channel. I already got all the equipment. I actually want to do a face-to-face with Dre, but like I told you, I'm going to give you some time, let you know so when I come down so I can get some pointers for you. Guys, don't do this alone. Don't do this alone. I said, because I'm going to tell you something. The information that he gives saves lives and is invaluable. It is so invaluable that it saved me so much headaches. I remember when I made mistakes, I'm like, oh, Dre said this. Okay, don't do that no more. Oh, Dre said this. Don't do it. Check yourself, man. Make a checklist of yourself. I'm going to tell you something else that helps out. If y'all really want to get involved with that chick, do your pros and cons. What's good, what's bad. But I will give you this. Don't mess with any chick that don't have a job. And I'm gonna tell y'all something.
Don't let that fly by so easy.
They can get jobs.
Say that again. Don't mess with a chick. What?
That don't have a job. I'm telling y'all, these chicks can get jobs, bro, if they want to. I've been here and I've been like thinking that, because for the longest I thought they couldn't get. Man, look, these chicks can go out there tomorrow and get a job. It's just that simple. They can work. A lot of people are lazy and they're entitled because foreigners make it that way. Y'all making it easy for Colombians. That's why they laughing at y'all, because y'all making it easy for them. So let me give y'all some game, right? So if you talking to a chick and you sending her money and she ain't got no job, one thing you got to understand about a chick that don't have a job. If she don't have a job, she's very hypergamous. Very hypergamous. That means she's gonna go to the highest bidder. That means who's ever willing to spend that money, that's what she's gonna go to. So even if you think, oh yeah, I'm sending my girl $400 or $500, I don't know why the hell you want to do that, because I take that $500 and be invested in so I can buy me a property when it's time for me to go overseas. I'm telling you, guys, keep your money, because women get you broke. My mama told me this my mama said this before, like she ain't with us no more, but she said this. She said, Billy, don't ever let no woman run through your money.
Yep. So true. So true.
Thanks for letting me cook, bro. Hopefully I didn't, scare nobody.
Man, you gave a good meal full of nourishment, full of 8 essential vitamins and minerals, part of a complete breakfast. I'm telling you, all the information that you just shared tonight, man, it was needed. I'm glad that you came up and shared the information in regards to being safe, not only in one country, but how we should move and maneuver in many different countries. We're about to end the live stream, gentlemen. This is not going to be a long one tonight, because I've got homework to do. I've got homework to do with Theo's class.
So I appreciate you having me, big bro.
Oh yeah, man. I'm glad that you came here, Will. Shout out to you. Appreciate Will being here once again. Appreciate all you guys being here tonight. We got a great topic tomorrow night, but that's for tomorrow night. We're going to start back Saturday evening movies this up and coming weekend. And I'll be letting you guys know what movies we'll be watching this weekend. But as for now, shout out to all you guys here that gave by way of Cash App, Super Chats. Shout out to T-Mac and all the other brothers that are here. And let's get ready to hit these outros, gentlemen. Let's get ready to do these outros. Let me scroll up. Let's try. We haven't done this one in a couple weeks.
Like so. Yeah. Yeah. Like it or love it, it's double or nothing. You ain't getting money, then you bugging. Damn fat, you know I'ma hug it. Lows by the truck. Up the budget, cashing it in, damn I'm a bucket. OD, you know I overdoes it. If it ain't moolah, we cannot discuss it. Her name ain't Erica, she finna bust it. Her name ain't Mega, but yeah, she a stallion. The way that we dressin' ran out of Italian. New chain bustin', peep the medallion. Pour your own troubles out by the gallon. Her name ain't Lotta, but she from the south. Her name ain't Ruby, she got a big mouth. Putting it in, she sticking it out. Putting it in, she sticking it out. She like salsa, one in a hole, just like a golfer. If you ain't leeching, what can you offer? Ain't got it, they just be talkers. Ain't got it, they just be talkers. They gon' tell you what you wanna hear. Yeah, put you in a nice pair. Best if you don't listen.
All this shit from me, I'm making her wet. It's double line, they know we the set. They know we up next, that's why they upset. Diamonds on me, and you know it's baguettes. Falling so hot, man, I need me a rap. If you ain't on time, then you being left. Can't live in the past, ain't got no regrets. Ain't looking for love, just want me. Like it or love it, still gotta respect it. How you in first, but you coming in second. They watching your next, so you gotta protect it. Running it up and we breaking the records. You gave us your last, you should've just kept it. Eyes on me as soon as I step in. The eye on me, you know what I'm repping. It's eyes, so yeah, you know what we dressing. Our blessings is coming, they know that we destined. Like it or love it, they know how we coming. Just send us the budget, send us the budget. She wanna suck in my hands on her weed, she tell me don't touch it. What you doing? We bringing them vibes, they know we don't force it. Tell them don't rush us. Don't rush us at all. Hate us or love us, it really don't matter. Ain't holding no grudges. Like it or love it, it's double or nothing. You ain't getting money, then you bugging. Damn fat, you know I'ma hug it. Lows by the truck, up the budget, cashing it in. Damn I'm a bucket. OD, you know I overdoes it. If it ain't moolah, we cannot discuss it. Her name ain't Erica, she finna bust it. She want me to touch it, I'm making her cream. Like she a Russian, she for the team. She bring her cousins, I'm bringing my brothers. Now it's the scene and we all for bean. Like it or love it, I had to just dub it. Ain't no in between, no in between. She for the streets, feeling so geek. She for the streets, feeling so geek. Like it or love it, they know how we coming. Just send us the budget, send us the budget.